enough.
And then someone did something, and then someone else made a face.
Chris Davis was making noise out there like a dick.
What the?
I'll say this. The most impressive thing Chris Davis has ever done was the Hell Hydra he added in with when Hyde was in the video. That shit was funny.
Dude, remember, like, it seems like just yesterday, Hail Hydra was like, funny, it was a joke.
Well, now they've
Now it's not.
they've pounded it into the. Oh, well.
Now it's Nazis.
Oh, now it's not.
Somebody I know needs to visit a Holocaust museum.
Probably.
Let's just go. I'm
took a
lowballing it now.
It just took a dark turn. All right, I'm recording.
It's all those fucking movie fans. That's the problem.
Oh God, it's gonna be.
Anybody seen any good? Oh wait, we're not started yet.
I mean, I'm recording.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Anybody seen any good movies?
No.
That's not how we start these podcasts, Brad.
This isn't 2008.
It's true.
Are we not going to talk
Hey
about
guys, welcome to the podcast. Has anyone seen any good movies lately?
I have.
I'm just kidding. My name's Nick Henderson. I'm with Brad Simons.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom.
Hi guys, this is 4Player Podcast.
Shh,
Weekly
I'll get
top
there. I'll
five
get
video
there.
game
Shh,
podcast.
shh, shh, shh. I'm the fucking host. Everybody shut up. And Christopher Guthridge.
Hey, what's up?
And joining me, sitting just really cozily in between myself and Brad, is Carlos.
Hey.
Brolos, wearing your Doom shirt.
Doomlos.
So we'll talk about Doom. I'm sure you've played a lot of Doom lately. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, like Nolan said, it's 4Player Podcast, episode 458. It's May 27th, 2016. And so now you proceed answering the question about seeing any good movies. Anyone seen any good movies?
I finally watched Keanu.
Oh,
the good movie. It was actually really funny. I actually really enjoyed it. I think Brad underplayed
God, I
it a
had
little
the
bit.
worst feeling with that movie.
I think very highly of Key and Peele.
Oh no, so I know it was not
show.
there. It was not Key and Peele, the show. It was definitely not that. It was a different. It was a different
different
tone.
style of humor.
Yes, it definitely. There wasn't like little bits here and there and whatever. But
I do love me some Key and Peele.
But I thought the humor was really good. Since then I've multiple times said, "Get that bitch."
Well, now I have to see it.
Yeah.
Is there?
But I thought you always said that, Nolan.
Yeah.
Is there a cute cat?
There is. The cat is definitely cute.
Confirmed.
Yep. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit.
Fantastic.
Because I was gonna go see Nice Guys, but then Alamo was like, "Hey,
that looks really good."
yeah."
I saw that.
Alamo was like, "Hey, buy one get one on Keanu," and I've never done a buy one get one because it's usually a movie I don't want to see.
Yeah.
But this was finally one I did, so I finally did a buy one get one.
I did see The Nice Guys.
Was Nice Guys good?
Nice Guys was
really good.
I liked it.
Just
really wanna
good.
see it.
It's like a
I
90
think it
something
was
on Rotten
just
Tomatoes.
good. Well, yeah. I mean, sure, it happens. That I think a 90%er is just good. But it's good. I would definitely recommend watching it. It was just...
Has anybody here seen X-Men Apocalypse?
There was no Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or Lethal Weapon.
Well, that's those are both very hard movies to reach and
those are really
be as good as. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a phenomenal movie.
fucking love that movie.
Wait,
good.
what did you say? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I think this was
Lethal
18.
Weapon.
Oh,
I think this
is
was...
that is
it's
good?
Shane Black.
But is this movie really like same kind of genre? Kind of.
Well, it's
the
more like
same.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
I've never seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
But
That's a really good movie.
You should.
it's funny.
This is the beginning of RDJ's return.
Yeah, that was his return to
There's some
film.
funny bits. There's some funny actors. What's his name's really good in it.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling. That was
Ryan
really
Gosling.
funny.
Yeah, from the trailers, he seemed a little funnier than some of the stuff he's done in the past.
Yeah.
I've seen him do some
But
funny stuff. Usually,
the movie does some weird shit, though.
Usually, the funniest stuff I've seen of Ryan Gosling is outside of movies, where he's just like doing
Oh, yeah,
interviews and
yeah,
shit.
him
He's
as a
pretty-
person,
he's
yeah.
pretty funny in interviews and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw Flash 2 season finale.
Oh, right?
It was so good.
Right?
It was really cheesy, and I definitely, we knew the twist, from a mile away, but,
Oh, yeah.
holy fuck, I'm so happy.
On a
before
slightly
they ended
related
that.
note,
Don't talk about Arrow.
dude, that oh god, oh my god, this is the first time I will get on your level, and I will tell you this season of Arrow
I found an infograph that has all of the ratings of every Arrow episode. And it's funny, you see season 1 get better and better, and then 2 gets better and better, and then 3 starts off really good, and then 4 is even lower. And there's one episode that's like at the very, it's like a
It's
fucking...
the Flash crossover?
No, it's I don't want to spoil it. That'd be a spoiler. Something happens that a lot of people
In Arrow?
didn't like. Yeah.
In season 4?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody dies.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Arrow and dies, even Carlos is caught up on Game of Thrones.
I'm caught up in Game of Thrones.
Who the fuck? What? Who is that?
By the way,
Carlos doesn't watch Game of Thrones, but we were watching it and he came over and he saw what happened. Well, what is
so dumb.
Without
Brad
spoiling,
was constantly telling me,
shut up! You can't.
The whole show is not like this. I promise you, the whole show is not like this. That's how bad it was.
No, like when there was like fucking elves throwing fireballs or something. I mean, that might be a little bit of a
Children
spoiler.
of the Forest.
Yeah,
we're
Don't act like you
I'm
don't know
saying
what that
that
is.
shit is not
because it's kind of spoiled.
what you typically see in a Game of Thrones episode. It's
correct.
It's usually a handful of people in a room talking to each other, not this fucking sci-fi channel bullshit
all right,
that we
can
watch.
we not talk about Game of Thrones? That's my request.
I
I really don't want to talk about Game of Thrones because
I'm on board with that.
it's clearly not going to be a good conversation. So let's move on.
But you're just afraid of the book versus show conversation, and I wasn't planning to get into that.
Well, you're already over here talking shit about it, and I haven't even had an opportunity to chime in what I thought about the episode, which I thought was really good.
Well, I think what he's saying is the whole story, even the book story, is about to dip into some territory that he's just not interested in.
No, but I was just talking shit about the special effects.
Oh, yeah. Those VFX.
Whatever. We're not talking about Game of Thrones. In fact, I can't believe we've already gone this far talking about non-video game related stuff.
Why not? We do that quite often.
Yeah. There was something I was going to bring up,
Lightning
and
bolt.
I was totally going to bring it up, and I forgot what it was.
I don't know.
It was movie or TV show related or something. Anyways, Arrow Season 4 sucks.
Yeah.
I don't...
Is
accept that.
the big bad for Arrow Season 4 Damon Dark?
Yeah.
Yes.
How did we get back onto Arrow?
I don't know.
Crispy asked a question about Arrow, so I answered the question about Arrow.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
Supergirl's coming to CW.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Whatever happened to the OC? That show was pretty cool.
The OC?
Carlos.
Good lord.
One Tree Hill.
Don't call
It's
it.
all about One Tree Hill.
I heard One Tree Hill got crazy at the end. I was listening to some podcast. They were having a conversation.
Brad's
about
like, I heard.
When the dog eats the person's heart. There's a clip on YouTube where someone needs a heart transplant, and they're like rushing the heart in a cooler, and the guy
I know what you're talking about.
falls and
And a
drops on the
dog-
floor, and a dog just walks into the frame and eats the heart.
It's supposed to be like really dramatic and
But
like,
it's really goofy.
But like it comes
Yeah.
off. It's like a fucking.
No, but the OC. I've
the
only ever
exact
seen
same
one episode
bit.
of the OC, and a bunch of like crazy, insane shit happened. I was like, "What? This is a real show that people watch?"
Yeah.
It was good. I had fun.
Fun was had.
What you say? Wasn't it the OC?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That was.
Oh my god.
That was the OC.
Video
I thought the
games.
OC was
Video games?
the one
Anytime
about
soon?
California.
That is.
He has the OC disorder. Don't call it that.
All right. Anyways, let's get it. We're here to talk about video games. Let's do that. Carlos, you haven't been on the show in a while.
Right.
You've been out and about, gallivanting around the world.
You're not very close to a mic.
I wouldn't really
Carlos.
call Mexico the world.
Whoa. I wouldn't say Mexico's not the world.
That's like saying America's the world.
That's what Americans think, though. They think that's America and everything else.
I don't.
Well, we are the center of the planet.
Pretty much, yeah.
I do think it's funny when we see.
have you ever looked at a map?
I do think it's funny when you see maps and the U.S. is in the middle, and then like China is like cut in half on either side. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean,
What?
what are we bumping shoulders? over here?
He's smaller than me. You should be a little closer to him.
This is good. This is great. All right, Carlos.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's talk Doom. You're wearing a Doom
sorry.
shirt today.
Sure.
Tells me you like Doom.
I love Doom.
You've been tweeting about Doom. You've been playing some Doom.
Doom or Doom 4?
Nobody calls it Doom 4. If you want to
Brad
get
really
like
wants
picky
to
about
die on
it,
this hill.
call it Doom 2016.
Yeah, I believe
That's
it's
the
pronounced.
appropriate
I
name.
hate that. You know why? Do you know why? Doom 2016 is a bad name for us to call it.
Because every time you Google Doom, you're going to be seeing
No,
the new one
no.
alongside the
It's
old
because in a
one.
few years we're gonna forget what the fucking
like
year
fucking
was. And we're gonna be
Ghostbusters.
like that Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Yeah.
What the fuck is that? What year is it that Tomb Raider
I think
came out?
2012, but it might have been
2012.
2013.
You can just call it 2000s Doom then, I guess.
New Doom.
New Doom.
Doom Classic.
Oh my God! Let's call it New
Or we
Doom.
can call
New
it
Doom like new
but
metal.
Can we spell new with an N?
You know, yeah, like new
Yeah.
metal, because people in chat have been calling it Hot Topic Halo. a lot.
There you
Hot
go.
topic Halo.
I think it's really funny.
Been trying to push that. on
I've never
people.
heard that before, but I can dig
It's a
it.
pretty good description.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, for the multiplayer only. Single player is actually its own thing.
Hot Topic still around?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Spencer's
Spencer's?
turned into Hot Topic.
Oh, really?
You go into.
I thought you were going to say Hot Topic turned into
They're
Spencer's.
practice.
and it looks exactly like Hot
They're
Topic.
pretty much indistinguishable.
Well, last time I went to a Hot Topic, they had like a whole bunch of like video game
Dildos.
shit.
Yeah, there's one near me, and that's where Bernadette bought some of the pops. She has a few pops.
Well, you know,
Uh,
Hot Topic has become pretty much just a store where you can go to buy like nerd culture shit.
The Hot Topic at Highland or at Lakeline Mall over here, or whatever that mall
Sure.
over here is.
Yep, Barton Creek, but
is
okay.
a Spencer's now, but it's still a Hot Topic. But it's a Spencer's, so it's a Hot Topic. But in the back, they have dildos.
Doesn't Spencer's have dildos? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all that separates
it's so
Hot Topic
weird.
from
But
Because the front is still like the 13-year-old girl stuff, and then the back is like,
But it's Texas, so you can't call them dildos.
oh,
What do we have to call
really?
them now?
Yeah, I think it's
What do you
technically
call them?
illegal to call them dildos.
Dude,
I don't remember.
Is
Penis
this Doom footage
sculptures?
on PC?
I'm pretty sure they're called like
Yeah, this is
massager
crazy.
devices
This is
or
not
something.
fair.
Well, what about the ones that don't
What are you
vibrate?
talking about?
You can still wax
not
someone.
fair.
with
Yeah,
it.
I get
Just
like a little
it's
envious
a-
watching
a-
people play
what
Doom
is
on
it?
PC.
Yeah, like a shiatsu
I can't
massage.
tell the
with-
difference.
Because I wish I
Yeah,
could be
with a big
pulling off
floppy
some of these
purple dick.
moves.
Too many conversations.
And I know I could do even better than
Horrible
that, but I can't
podcast.
come on a gamepad.
We are having two conversations.
Let's start over.
All right.
Hey guys, welcome to 4Player.
So what are y'all's thoughts on Doom?
I have
It's
no
really good.
thoughts.
We talked about it last week.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm still enjoying the hell out of Doom. Let's be careful with what we say, even though this footage is spoiling shit for me. Because I'm still on mission 5.
You can't spoil.
Well, this is hell.
spoil
This is
Doom.
hell, man. I'm seeing hell.
You can't spoil this game.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: the Doom Marine's actually a Nazi.
Oh god.
Anyway, go ahead.
I just like how ridiculous they got with the plot towards the end, like when everything is
Wait, there's
revealed and if
plot
you've
in
been
this
reading
game?
the comic. Yeah, but it's like
I
really,
mean-
it's really like self-aware. It's weird
Self-aware of what?
of it being like
A
a
shitty
sequel
a
to
video
Doom.
game.
Oh, okay.
It's strange. It's kind of like I feel like it has like a BioShock Infinite kind of vibe with the plot, but it's just done for like comedic value
I see.
rather than all seriousness.
I have
Right,
not
they're
paid
not, they're
attention.
not selling it with a straight.
Yeah, you
face
have to like read
necessarily.
some of the codexes and listen to the conversations and stuff.
I actually did read
Figure
like
this out.
every journal entry in
for the
this
monsters
game.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like this is the first game in a while. Like I usually read all the notes, but I find most of the notes in this game are not very interesting because they're more like
Just ignore them. You don't even need to read them.
I have
Just
not
keep
paid
going.
attention to a single story element in this game.
It's kind of interesting.
I passed up every little blue hologram, and I've.
well, Brad, you do that on like most games.
I should,
not true.
I should not have taken this game back to Redbox because I kind of want to go home and play it. instead
Like
of
I'm not a
Uncharted 4.
cutscene skipper.
Cri-
You know?
no, fucking Carlos is about to like stand up from this podcast and be like, "I want to go play Doom," and just walk out.
All right. So I just finished the game. I want to say something about my playthrough of the game. About halfway through, I realized that I had not purchased a single upgrade because the game gives you points that you can then use to improve like your guns and your abilities and such.
Yeah.
And
Did you do that just because you hadn't realized you could?
I
do
didn't
that?
realize. I
No, I don't
forgot.
believe it.
I forgot. No, the same thing happened to me with Batman Arkham Knight. I made it like 3/4 of the game without buying a single upgrade. It wasn't until I hit pause and saw that I had like 36 upgrade tokens.
But
That I
Carlos, you were
realized-
doing all the secrets, right?
No, I did that on my second playthrough.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
then
on my
that makes sense,
first
actually.
playthrough, halfway I realized, oh, I haven't spent any points upgrading shit. I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I'm not gonna buy a single thing. And I beat the game like that, and holy shit, it was really hard.
And it was hard.
The
You didn't
upgrades
even
are
have-
really hard.
I didn't realize
even
how
have the
hard
jump.
I didn't realize how hard I was making things for myself until I started that second playthrough with everything unlocked because I wanted to like play the game again and finding all the secrets and stuff. Oh my god, what is
Wait,
wrong
so did
with
you
me?
literally start the second game and then just like use all like 50 like points you had?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this game's really easy.
No, it's not easy. It just becomes a lot more fun.
Were you getting to the point where you thought there was like a design issue where you're like, what the fuck is wrong
No,
with this
it's-
game?
it's not
And then you're
overly-
like,
it's
"Oh,
not-
I'm not upgrading.
It's not overly difficult because it wasn't unbeatable. I was still able to push through.
So what you're saying is the upgrades actually do add an element of fun to this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the upgrades are really good.
Because I died to a boss like 15 times, and when I replayed it on a higher difficulty, I died maybe 2 times. And I don't know, did any of you guys play The Darkness 2?
Yes, I did.
Because I want to compare this game to The Darkness 2 because,
That's an interesting comparison.
yeah, when I played The Darkness 2, I had a lot of fun with the game, doing New Game Plus with everything unlocked on a hard difficulty.
Yeah.
Because you have all these skills available, and you're able to deal with like the increased number of enemies and such. and the game it's like playing a completely different game.
Yeah.
And that's what this game feels like for me. Like my second playthrough with everything unlocked and on a higher difficulty.
Man, you played a dangerous game, man. Like this game you've been looking forward to forever, and you started it. You played the entire game without using a major feature of it.
I fucked it up, yeah. But shit, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Cool.
I'm gonna say this. I think the one thing I don't like about this game is the checkpointing.
Oh, I forgot something you really talk about a lot is that like difficulty levels in games just make enemies like hit you harder or give you less health. In this one, they do a little bit of that, but they also switch out enemy placement. Like you run into demons that you would run in further in the game, like on level 2.
Well, they also do that with weapons too. Like, 'cause I said this last week, but I found the plasma rifle in like the second mission of the game, but you normally wouldn't just stumble
Yeah, but that's
across it
because it's a secret. I mean, you eventually,
which is great. I think it's awesome.
It's impossible to miss it. I mean, you'll eventually get it. But if you like exploring and stuff, you'll come upon things a lot earlier than you would.
Yeah, I mean, that's like that in classic Doom, though, isn't it?
That's how they did. That's what they used to do.
Pinkies suck in this game. I hate them.
What?
The pinkies are so
pinky
annoying.
demons?
Yeah.
The one problem I have with the
little?
game, the one problem I have with the game when I compare it to classic Doom, which I don't think people should do that too much because they're completely different games.
Yep.
Is that the old games were designed around like you're running out of ammo for a certain gun at certain times, and it would force you to use a different gun. Like say you come up on a different level, and there's only rocket launcher ammo on that level, so you have to use your rocket launcher because you're gonna run out of ammo for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But with the way ammo pickups work in this game, you pick up ammo for all your guns. So it just boils down to using whichever gun you like using the most.
You know, I think a lot of people are going to be drawing comparisons to the original Doom, obviously, and the question has always been like, is this really like classic Doom? And maybe it's not classic Doom.
Hey.
But I think aesthetically, I mean, like just like overall vibe, especially looking at Doom 3 and then looking at Doom 4, if you want to call it that, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can definitely see a step back in the direction of just general like level design.
No, Nick, that's an understatement. It's an understatement. Not only are you fucking right, but like don't like this game is more like classic Doom than it has any fucking right to be. Because this game, I can't think of a game in recent memory that is channeling like classic Doom even remote. Like this is the only shooter I can think of like in the past, at least this fucking generation, that tries to have this like open-ended, somewhat labyrinthine, level design and whatnot. Like shooters just aren't like this anymore. So like that's why I just didn't believe that this kind of game existed. This game feels way more like outside of. I think the one exception is encounter design. I don't think that feels very Doom-like. But like level design, like they fucking nailed it in terms of at the very least the feel of what a secret felt like in classic Doom, where maybe you can see a little bit of it and you got to figure out how to get there, to just what it feels like to clear out a map of Doom and then just spend the rest of the time looking for all those secrets, and just the same kind of tug of I want to see this new level, but I kind of want to find the secrets, but I kind of want to get to the new level. Like that feels the same to me. Like that push-pull is the same.
You know what contributes to that? That the fact that a lot of the levels have very clearly defined like exit switches.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not done with the level until you actually walk up to the button and push it.
Yeah.
So at which point you're done, and then you're free to like go back and look up at any of that stuff you missed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I really liked about old Doom, the fact that each level is its own self-contained thing with a clear beginning and end that lets you take your time.
I'm also really enjoying the what do they call them? The rune trials? Is that what they're called? Dude, those are cool. Like tracking them down and then trying to complete the challenges and like.
I don't like how they're in the same locations over and over again. It seems like real easy to do what they were doing, to do what the challenge wants you to do, but just on a different map or something. I feel like that was maybe a very late game edition.
Well, at this point, I've only done 4 of them, so maybe I haven't seen.
They
that
start
repetition.
repeating. It's like you could have just done this shit in a different map.
They're
or
all
something.
they're all the same. It's only two. It's only two.
2 or 3 or something.
No, it's only 2.
Yeah, it just seems kind of weird. But yeah, you're right. They've actually been kind of fresh and interesting. And have gotten somewhat challenging.
And the fact that you earn those perks that you can kind of attach to, and not to mention when you complete a trial, you get this perk you can add to your character, and then each one of those perks you add has like its own level associated with it. So it's like I get this perk that lets me collect because the items will kind of fly towards you, and it will kind of improve your radius so that you don't have to get nearly quite as close to items to like pull them towards you, and like that has its own level. The range of that upgrade will increase if you get like
It's
500. You collect 500 items.
It's like pro perks from Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in a way,
Let me-
it's just cool.
Let me say this about the level design too, in ways that it. So there are ways that it does feel like classic Doom, which is great because shooters don't feel that way. But then there's this other way that it feels like old shooters, but maybe less like the Doom clones of like the mid 90s and more of like the shooters of the early 2000s where like there's a lot of like big spaces with like platforming and stuff, verticality and whatnot, which again you don't see in modern shooters at all. And I feel like there's a confidence here. That there's a confidence in the design that they expect the player to make these jumps, to figure this out, to look around. And again, modern shooter design is all about not letting the player get lost. And what's considered good design now is training the eye to look at places so they never don't know where to go. That's kind of what Half-Life was always good at, right? Like we're gonna subtly change the lighting over here.
Like every level kind of has its own like North Star. How you can always kind of find your way by using your eyeball.
Exactly.
But
This
like,
game doesn't care about that. I mean, they do like the flashing lights for like ledges and stuff, but like you need to use your fucking eyes.
You need to look at the map.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll pull a lever.
They give you like
and
a
you'll walk
full
up to the
map
edge of a cliff and look around, see what's different from the last time you looked at that.
Yeah.
Like you'll see like a giant demon like open its mouth up in the distance, and then that's where you're supposed to go.
That's pretty fucking cool, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Did
you finish it, Brad?
Not yet. The boss to like do that level where you're climbing up that big tower. You're inside
The
of
Argent
stuff
Tower?
Yeah, the Argent Tower.
You're inside this tower and you're like kind of going up on lifts and stuff.
Yeah, that's Argent Tower. Yeah. That's
Like there's no shooter that does shit like that anymore.
Yeah, it's like a really old thing. Like even Half-Life had those really long platforming sections.
Yeah.
But since Half-Life physics were a little primitive and slidey and stuff, you would fall to your
it
death all
kinda
the time.
sucked,
But in this one, it's just fun.
I
because
still
you're
fall
never,
a lot.
You're never dying.
Dude,
as often as you were
double
in
jump in this
fucking
game
Doom.
is a game changer.
Well, when you get the jump rune, that's when it's a
Yeah.
game changer. But I love the little touches. It's the kind of stuff that I think if this game didn't have the upgrades, if it didn't have the runes, if it didn't have the challenges, I think it would feel a little thin. But like that stuff is good. It's not
It's
a lot of
nice.
games
It's
do
well played.
upgrades, but and
For no
runes
reason.
and stuff
Yeah.
for no reason. Like a little percentage higher on your shoot damage.
Like Tomb Raider.
This game, yeah, like Tomb Raider. Like the fucking upgrades in that game feel pointless. But in this game, they really make every upgrade feel meaningful. So you want to upgrade every weapon
Yeah.
because everyone seems
They
powerful.
make
in their own
combat
way.
more fun. It makes you more willing to try using
Yeah.
different strategies and different weapons
Yeah.
and different things.
You know what? Bethesda so far has a pretty good track record of taking older franchises and kind of rebooting them. Like maybe they didn't do it to this extent, but I actually really enjoy what they've done with Wolfenstein the past few years. It kind of makes me excited,
I
especially.
don't want to
if
give Bethesda credit though. I want to give it software.
Well, yeah, no,
It
sure,
is
sure,
Machine
sure.
Games.
Yeah.
Sure, exactly. But like, those are both associated with Bethesda now, and it's just so I'm kind of putting them under the same umbrella. But like, it kind of makes me excited because there's some pretty heavy rumors that we might get Prey 2, and seeing what they've done with those franchises makes me.
But that'd be Arcane, wouldn't it? Not
Yeah, but
Bethesda?
it's Bethesda though. Still Bethesda. I mean, I'm not saying Bethesda themselves developed all these games, but they all fall under the Bethesda umbrella, and they're making pretty good decisions as of late. So, one thing they said when they quote unquote canceled Prey 2 was that it didn't live up to their standards of quality.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing what they did with Wolfenstein and seeing what they did with Doom, seeing what it looks like they're doing with Dishonored, like it gives me, like it kind of makes me put some weight into that statement. Like, what is their quality of standard of quality? Because it seems like it's pretty high. Which, if they're getting ready to re-announce Prey 2, what the hell is that going to look like? Because they make some good decisions.
You know what I did want to see in this new Doom that there wasn't a lot of? I mean, if any at all? Like little gimmick levels. I don't know for you guys that know about Doom and Doom 2. Stuff like Dead Simple or Barrels of Fun or
Yeah.
Tricks and Traps.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple arenas in the game where say like there's like a big open space and you're fighting nothing but pinky demons, and there's a haste power up in the middle. I mean, they obviously want you to clear that arena a certain way by using haste and run around in circles, but there's nothing like as thought out as those levels that I mentioned.
I talked about this last week that there was comedy in the level design of classic Doom, you know, like in those levels, like some of the traps and some of the scenarios like you're talking about. Like, I think that's what made those games so fun. And some of that's a little lost here. You know, like I said, the encounter design, combat is fun, but the encounter design is actually kind of just might as well be randomized.
Like classic Doom has a couple stages where you have to like jump down into slime and pick up the environmental suit to make sure you stay alive, and then go into like a really narrow passageway that's being blocked off by demons.
Yeah.
So you have to kill them really quick before your like biosuit runs out and you can make it to the other
Encounter
end.
design.
Stuff like that.
They inhabited the level in very very deliberate ways. While here it's just go to this area and they start spawning in.
But I mean,
it's fun to kill.
With the kind of stuff you can do in this game, it's a little harder to pull that off because the player can figure ways to get out of the situation.
Yeah. Which, you know, that's not fair. I mean, we're talking about classic Doom, which is one of the greatest games of all time. This might be one of the greatest games of this year so far. You know, it's not fair to compare the two. But you know what? This is a damn good effort.
I think we should end on that note with our Doom conversation. But yes, I agree with you. This is a damn fine game. I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. I hope I can finish it.
And none of you have
soon.
tried playing any of the Snap Map games?
No, I have. I mean, I'm still working my way through the
It's
campaign.
disappointingly limited.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like that's kind of the consensus with the multiplayer, too, which sucks.
You said you were gonna make Shadow Complex and Snap Map.
Oh! Did you
the
say
whole
that?
game. He said he was gonna recreate.
I tried making a map
Shadow
today.
Complex.
I tried making a map today before taking it back to Redbox, and it's like really simple, but at the same time, it manages to be too complicated for me.
It's
too
Yeah.
limited. You can't even make Shadow Complex with it.
Yeah, can't make.
Only
recreate Shadow Complex.
Only
on
thing
it.
I made was a map where like you spawn and like 10 seconds after you spawn, like a barrel explodes up in the distance and it sets off a chain reaction of barrels exploding.
That kills
And
you.
you're like behind a wall of barrels and you die.
Well, there you go.
That's the level you made?
And that took me like an hour.
Hey, Crispy,
Hey,
what's your next Metroidvania?
Oh, yeah, you finished Shadow Complex.
I did finish Shadow Complex.
What'd you think of that game?
Guacamelee.
It was cool. It just kind of ends. Though.
Yeah.
The ending isn't. It's not very. There's not some sort of ramping, escalating
I
thing
feel-
that happens, and then there's a big thing. It kind of just like happens.
It doesn't
I feel
crescendo
like-
like the other ones you've played.
Should I not talk about what happens at the end of the game? I feel like it's not
Pretty
really.
sure
It's a
no
pretty
one
old
cares.
game.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel kind of silly for getting to the end and not thinking like that was the end. Because the ending is literally like they launch a helicarrier into the sky
Out of
and
a
you're
lake.
out of a lake, and you're targeting nuclear missiles to bring it down. And I'm like, okay, what do we do after that? And they're like, no, that's it. You beat them. You launched nuclear missiles at a helicarrier and destroyed it. You saved the world. And I'm kind of just like,
Really?
oh.
Well, because this was supposed to
Really?
be part
They
of
don't
the
have like a
series,
giant
right?
robot or something for me to fight? You don't want me to like...
Just wait till you get to Shadow Complex 2.
God damn
You
it.
stole my joke.
Shadow Complex 1 was kind of a rough draft. It's an amazing game. Man,
No,
the
it is
sequel's
really
going to be
cool.
so fucking polished and on point.
My only criticisms of Shadow Complex are just like I feel like there's a little wonkiness with aiming.
It's
like
jank, yeah.
the 2.5D
No,
stuff
yeah.
is cool, but like whenever you have to aim down a corridor at somebody,
It can be
that's
tough,
just
yeah.
that's fucked. Like to the point where that like got me killed a couple times.
Yeah. That's why we need a sequel so fucking
So
bad.
The
That's-
story is bullshit.
Well, yeah.
Like it's just contrived bullshit.
How did the story begin?
It's like they're hiking in the woods, and then his girlfriend.
Where does that end up? Like,
Yeah.
He's hiking in the woods with his girlfriend, and by the end, he's shooting nuclear weapons
And
out
then
there.
at the end, they're like, "Your girlfriend's a spy for the CIA," and he's like, "Oh, what?" Like, but it's so obvious within like 2 minutes of starting the game that that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. It's like the mechanics are really cool.
the mechanics,
The foam
the
gun?
world.
The foam gun, the foam
flashlight.
the foam gun is cool. The flashlight,
The flashlight was a great
That was a
addition.
really neat way to like highlight secrets instead of like just giving it to you on a map to be like, oh, well, I can I shoot that vent? Oh, yes, I can. Like that was really cool.
It's a really
It
smart.
removes a lot of the tedium associated with the game.
At the end, you blow up gay marriage. What else are we talking about here?
What is the
Wait,
joke early
Well,
ending?
the
though?
question, Christopher, for you was, what is your next?
Oh, my next Metroidvania.
Because that's 3 now. You've done 3 in a row, right?
Did I?
Is it 3?
Yeah, you did Super Metroid, Symphony of the Night,
wow.
Shadow Complex.
You're 3 in, man.
Okay, I was gonna do a Metroid next. I don't know. I'm either going to
Prime.
do Prime
Prime's
or
good.
Fusion.
I would don't do Fusion, do
yeah.
Zero Mission.
Zero
Are you
Mission.
gonna play on the Wii, homie?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a Wii.
You have a Wii U.
I do have a Wii U,
Yeah.
but I also
I have the trilogy.
I have
it's
that as
kind of
well.
weird. Like my broadcast setup's kind of weird because I only have one monitor to work with now. So
That's
I
a
kinda
good
have
one
to,
too.
like-
Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh, that's
Another
pretty good one.
That's a good
Metroidvania.
game, but
Axiom Verge. I should
know, that was a good
broadcast.
game.
I've been playing Axiom Verge on my own, and I'm pretty far into it. I might be pretty close to the end. I would restart that for stream though because that game is fucking.
What about Guacamelee?
Tits.
Did you ever play Guacamelee?
That's a good.
I
that's
played a
good.
lot of Guacamelee.
Guacamelee
what's
is
a lot? Did you get like the ability to run up walls?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Guacamelee
you
is
get the
probably.
ability to fly through the.
Guacamelee
I
is my
played. I
favorite.
played Guacamelee co-op with Campbell, with my roommate.
Were you just kind of blasting
And-
through it, or were you looking for secrets and stuff?
I mean, we were kind of blasting through it. We found some secrets, but we weren't really like 100%ing it.
Here's a question.
That's 100%.
Is this a Metroidvania? So I played this game all the way through. I finished it, loved it.
Ori and
But
the
I'm trying to
Blind
remember if you could really
Think you're gonna
classify it as
say Ori and the Blind
Metroidvania.
Forest?
Guacamelee?
No, I'm gonna say Outland.
No, absolutely.
Okay,
I was gonna
that-
maybe suggest Outland to him.
Outland is fantastic. It's also hard as balls.
What is Outland?
It's made by
Metroidvania.
House.
The one where you switch colors.
You have to like
It's
you're
like
switching.
Ikaruga meets.
Yeah, it's hard to explain because you're switching colors, and when you switch the colors,
Ikaruga, the
you
GameCube game?
you,
Yes.
The bullet hell?
Yes.
But you're using colors, and you can only interact with certain things in the environment in certain ways. when
Think of
colors
Guacamelee.
change.
Think of Guacamelee when you can only interact with
World
certain.
switching.
Yeah, you can switch between the worlds.
Dude,
it's kind of
the
like that, but the
platforming in
colors.
Guacamelee, when you're having to throw in that world switching, gets fucking.
Dude,
There's
but-
some of that.
But
in
Outland. Outland, like the whole game of Outland, is like that, and it requires like precision platforming.
Dude, I've got,
And the
I've
checkpoint
It's
got-
rough.
sucks.
That's probably the hardest Metroidvania I think I've ever.
But they've updated it like in the past year or so.
Did you
a
do
year
the
and
tree?
a half? Believe it or not.
in Guacamelee.
No, the one you guys were talking about where you have to like
Yeah.
jump all the way up.
Oh.
and have to
Outland
keep
has
it-
some stuff like that.
yeah, dude, that whole game.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
know.
god!
No,
but
no,
that,
check
but
it,
that
check
is
it,
a
check
real-
it.
it's a
It
cool
came
game,
to
though.
Steam or whatever in the past couple of years, which is very recent, considering when this game came out. They've updated some of the checkpointing issues.
In Outland,
Yeah.
man, I would
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't mind going back to play that again. Just
I'll
because
put it on my. I have a Google Doc of all the different Metroidvanias.
I think
How long
Outland
is
is,
that
a
list?
really fun game. I think maybe some of its Metroidvania elements aren't its strongest aspects.
It's
but it
platforming,
is a
isn't
Metroidvania.
Play Metroid Prime, please.
I'm
Metroid
gonna
Prime
play-
is one of the
I'll
greats.
play Prime. To somebody, will somebody loan it to
you
me?
can-
You can borrow mine.
Yeah,
You can borrow Nick's.
you can borrow Carlos's.
You borrow Carlos's. He'll go to Mexico and then you'll be able to keep it forever.
Oh, that's racist.
No, I'm saying he's not gonna ask for it back. He still has my Mad World. Yeah, how many of my games do you have?
You have a lot of my shit as well.
Nolan still has my infamous second
Bring
son.
my games back.
Oh, I meant to bring that
Which
tonight.
is so funny because I actually needed to record
I've been
footage
wanting to play Mad World.
of Infamous for something this weekend, and I just randomly was like, "Wait a
You have my
second."
DualShock 4.
Wait, does anybody?
Too many
here,
conversations.
Does anybody here remember? Did I finish Arkham Origins Blackgate?
No, but
No.
that game is.
Don't know.
I can't remember hardly any.
I'm
of
pretty
that
sure
game.
you did not.
I'm pretty sure you don't
I
need
got.
to go
I
back
got
to
pretty
it.
close to the end though. I got pretty close.
That was
anyway.
Okay.
weird.
I'm gonna in an
That was
effort
story
to
is
move on and
confusing.
transition. I would just like to point out that our longtime chatter Kiranu only exists to talk about the game Valda's story, and I'm convinced that he is the single person who made that game.
He's telling me to play Valda's story.
That's all he tells anyone. That's why he exists,
Is
to
it a
tell people to play
Metroidvania?
Valda's story. Yes.
Is it good?
It's really confusing.
It's solid. Like I think the world structure is pretty terrible. It's easy to get lost, and it's hard to find like identifying character like.
Static is creeping back in. Sorry, that could have
I
been.
feel like that was kind of the case with Shadow Complex, where it's like if you didn't have the map, like how the fuck
You use the flashlight
I mean, to what?
to just see where you haven't been and where you can go.
But I mean,
And just go there.
that does require you to go everywhere.
Yeah.
Crispy. I think you've been playing a lot of great side-scrolling Metroidvanias. I think your next game is Metroid Prime.
Because that just
Okay.
to mix things up a bit, to go from 2D to 3D
To
and then
see
go back.
one of the best 2D to 3D transitions in the history of video games, but to still like basically all the aspects that made
Oh, I just had an idea.
side-scrolling Metroid great are transitioned into 3D, and they're all intact.
I just
They're
had an
all
idea.
intact.
Crispy.
I'll do it.
Crispy.
Yeah.
You and I should both pick a 2D portable Metroidvania, and we both start playing it together when we go to E3.
I think y'all should both
Because
play.
we all take games to travel with. Let's
Y'all
me and
should do
Crispy-
Portrait of Ruin. You know that even has some co-op stuff in it, right?
What?
There you go.
And I've been wanting to play the next 3D or 2D Castlevania for a long time.
I
So
mean, Portrait of Ruin is not the best Egavania out there.
Well,
Egavania.
I the next Castlevania,
For you, I would recommend.
the next Castlevania I want to play is Aria of Sorrow.
Okay, he knows.
Why don't we just
For
all play Harmony of Despair?
For
Fuck
you,
it.
I'd go.
Well,
I'd still go Symphony.
I was
for
just
you.
gonna say play the same thing just because we'll be traveling together and we can
Right.
talk about it. Well, we're like,
The
oh
thing
yeah,
is,
you get that.
we can
The
play
thing is,
Harmony
the
of
two best
Despair
Egavanias,
together.
you played Dawn, he played Symphony, and y'all need to swap. Do you see what I mean?
We'll figure that out.
Or y'all can both play Aria.
I definitely do want something.
I'm on a
Do want to play
PS4.
something when we travel. So
Y'all have Game Boy Advances?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
we,
yeah,
we
totally.
we can get Game Boy. Oh, dude, you can get a fucking DS Lite for like $40 now.
done.
Really?
The site can buy them.
That is a great system.
I mean, I have a DS Lite at home.
We'll talk about this.
We'll talk about
I think we're on to something here, Crispy, because
Okay.
I've been meaning to play another Metroidvania. Although if Crispy's coaching from Dark Souls 2 is any indicator, maybe I shouldn't be asking him for
Oh
pointers.
my god, you pull one little switcheroo on a guy and he never trusts you again.
Or we can all
I
play
gave you a
Harmony
lot of
Despair.
good advice that night. I told you one less than stellar tip.
Harmony of Despair?
One of the most underrated soundtracks.
Are we gonna do that again?
Of last generation.
This Sunday?
Well, not this Sunday.
Well,
we're
yeah,
we're going to be
we're-
out of town this Sunday, but
Yeah, next Sunday.
next time we're together to watch Game of Thrones, or
Next
something,
time we're Game
we'll
of
do
Thrones
another
and-
co-op Dark Souls 2 cast because that was fun. Yeah, even though I was kind of a hot mess throughout that whole thing. But anyway,
Hot Smith?
hot mess.
Those are the best kind of messes.
Brad,
What?
Nolan, you have both been playing Nolan because I just brought up Infamous Second Son. It was so weird because I needed to record footage of that for something, and I just remembered, oh, Nolan has my Second Son, and I was like, hey, Nolan, can you capture footage of Second Son, or do you have my Second Son? He's like, why? Did you see me playing it? I was like, ha, no. Are you playing it? Sure enough, he's fucking playing it.
Yep.
You've had it for like
Like a year and a half.
Fuck were you playing second? That's so random.
That is
Because I finished Uncharted and I needed another game to play.
Play Doom.
No, thank you. And so I saw that one on my shelf and I was like, oh, well, here you go. And
so. And I watched you finish it last night. So
oh,
you're-
nice. Yeah.
you were
Dude,
done
like,
with it.
that's the thing. This game's a lot shorter than I thought it was.
It is fit. I mean, this wasn't a launch title, but
No, it was a
practically
very early
launch.
PS4 game.
This was like within the first month
it
of
was
PS4
launched
No.
release.
window.
March after the launch.
I thought that came
It
out.
was-
Didn't the system come out in like January, or
November?
February?
No.
November.
It was
Oh.
launch window.
November to
Launch
September.
window.
For
That-
March. That's 5 months. That's pretty early.
Yeah.
I didn't like this that much.
You know why I can tell it's an early PS4 game? Use the touchpad a lot.
Yeah.
Which I fucking hated every time I had to use it.
What
Like
did you-
this. Like
what-
every single time.
What did you use it in the game for?
To
So to suck
siphon-
up any power.
Oh yeah.
Anytime you had to interact with anything, so when you had to rip gates off of people who were trapped, or when you had to, like go to the core, like what I'm about to do right here. I'm about to have to interact with this core so I can gain a new power, and to do that, you have to fucking jump up on top, and you have to pull up on the D-pad, and you have to hold it or the touchpad, and we have to while you're holding it, you have to do R.
Yeah,
It's really
that's
fucking
stupid.
dumb. It's I hate gimmicks like that, like early
trying
games, like new systems with stuff like that. Always go over
They
the
did.
top with it.
They kind of overused it in like I think if I remember in Killzone Gorilla too. They used it quite a bit.
Question, Nolan. Did you play the first two?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. I just want to be sure.
Did you? I can't remember. Do you like the first two?
I did. I liked. So 2 kind of just felt like a little more of 1.
Yeah.
Like I wish they had done different powers in 2. I
Did
wish
you
they
play
hadn't waited
the
until
DLC?
3. Of
Two.
Festival
Of 2?
Blood.
No, I never played
Festival
Festival.
Blood.
Blood.
That's
so
more
good.
classic Nick. That's like Singularity
Yeah,
levels.
that is Singularity
He
level
always
for
used to
Nick.
talk about Festival of Blood. What
Dude,
happened?
but Festival of Blood is like legitimately a cool twist on.
No,
Dude,
no, no,
Festival
I know,
of
I know.
Blood is like one of my favorite DLCs I
Like
think I've
that
ever
was
played.
fucking awesome.
It was cool.
But yeah, so I did enjoy both Infamous 1 and 2, which is a reason I wanted to play 3 or Second Son. Especially because I'd gotten the First Light DLC because it was
Yeah.
free on PlayStation Plus a while
I heard that
back.
wasn't very good.
I never played it, and I didn't want to play it until I had played this.
It's kind of dumb because you play a character you like
That
you
you
know
interact
usually
with
you
in
like
this.
DLC would be like play as a different character
with
it's
different
like,
powers. Or
yeah,
something
but it's like
that.
it's a character you play as in this game, or
You
no,
don't play
it's
as,
a
but you
set
have
of
their powers,
that
yeah.
you get
Is
in this
it
game.
video or something like that?
No, it's
Powers?
the
Neon.
The neon,
powers.
which is
You siphon it from TVs.
so
no, you
well,
siphon it from neon stuff. Video you siphon from TV.
Oh, that's right.
dude. They
What does
they
video
pick
do?
they pick some
Hold on.
weird powers.
Yeah,
in this
so
game.
the first thing you have is smoke, which I guess I can kind of understand. It's kind of like electricity, but not. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like you shoot blasts or whatever, and so the crazy thing about this game is it goes from the previous games you had one power, and all of a sudden in this you get like four
major powers.
Yeah, and so it's like a crazy turn, and it almost gets frustrating because they always kind of lean back towards smoke. And smoke's like my least favorite out of all of the powers. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as I started getting other powers in this game, I was like, man,
I
smoke
I
sucks.
kind of remember not liking the video power very much.
I actually really enjoyed the video power.
That's the one that sounds the coolest to me.
I'm trying to remember what exactly it did.
Video dumb.
hold on. So the smoke is very general. You just shoot like kind of essentially fire blasts, kind of. Neon has the ability to slow down time. When you go into your like
Yeah.
And you can
aiming
run
mode,
fast.
you can do the infinite run fast
so
once
it's
you
Speed
upgrade
Force?
it.
You get the Speed Force?
Yes,
Dude, Neon's my favorite,
and you can
for
also like smoke. What you do is you throw down like a little like grenade, and it blows up, and everyone's like smoke. And neon, when you do that, everyone gets like goes into slow motion, and they're like, through the air, and so you can pick them off.
Yeah.
Video. It's so you have the ability to like the glide.
Yeah.
Is what they add on video. So you can kind of almost like infinitely glide, but you can like kind of glide up.
Couldn't you like
buildings and stuff
shoot between like antenna points or something?
yeah, so on top of roofs, there's like antennas or like satellites, and if you zoom into them, it'll launch you really far and fast. This is a traversal thing.
It's just weird because it's one of those powers you're like, okay, they're kind of stretching here, but it's cool, and I like it.
Yeah, it's
the,
like
the,
really...
the cool thing with video was you could become invisible.
Ah, that's right.
When you use it, you would become invisible. Guards would lose you. Then you can sneak up on them and take them out. If you're doing the passive, which I did in this run through.
What's the fourth power?
The fourth one is concrete that you get
Oh,
at
that's
the very end
right.
of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks balls. Yeah.
How much of a like just kind of like a palette swap do these powers feel from one another?
To an extent, they are kind of a palette swap, but it's a little more. So every power has a kind of a generic blast. This is me early on. I'm like got stuck on this thing because all I had was smoke, and smoke is the hardest power to traverse the world in with, because with both neon and video, you can like essentially just run up the sides of buildings.
That's awesome.
But smoke, you have to use like
Right.
smokestacks.
You got to do the fucking
Yeah, you actually-
the free climbing. Or
I
whatever.
kind of wish neon was the focus of this game and the smoke was a secondary power because the neon was so cool.
It would have been nice, especially like I said, smoke just wasn't the best.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the neon was for me was like my favorite power in the game, and also they made DLC where you play as the chick who is where you got the neon powers from, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, well, I already played a shit ton of the neon powers.
What's so
and the
funny, Brad?
main cool.
You know how everyone's like this protagonist is so fucking hipster.
Yeah.
I bet in Second Son 2 or the next Infamous game, his power is gonna be like e-cig vapor.
Brad's over here making jokes in his head, and laughing at him.
I know. I can totally see it though, right?
But look how fucking hard it is for me to fucking shoot this thing.
It is tough.
The problem
One of the
is
things I've always
there's almost like slight aim assist, but
Yeah.
it fucks you over because it aims where the thing is.
Not
but I need
where
to
it's
aim
going.
where it's gonna be,
No.
but it keeps dragging me back to it. It's really frustrating early on. What were you gonna say, bro?
you were talking about kind of like power palette swaps for like powers, and they all kind of fit. One of the things about Infamous that's always bothered me, ever since the first one, is that like so many of the powers feels like analogs to like shooter stuff.
Oh,
you know, like
definitely.
you have like the power that's basically a pistol. A
gun.
power that's the rocket launcher.
grenade.
A power that's the grenade. And that always seems weird because Sucker Punch, they used to do the Sly Cooper games. They weren't like that. So why
Why weren't they more innovative?
It feels like a developer that only ever made shooters tried to make an open world game, and I don't understand why they could never kind of get away from that. Because you're still kind of like headshotting dudes.
I was really hoping with once you unlock the concrete that you were gonna be like a street shark. Where you could like go under the ground
be
and
dope.
like that would have been fucking cool. But nope, you didn't.
I really enjoy I actually really enjoy the Infamous series a lot. The one thing I've always thought is kind of weird about it is that like ever since the second one,
Yep.
it's just, to me, it's felt like I've been expecting like grand, like suddenly, the first one felt really cool, but it was more like a proof of concept. Maybe the next one will like open up and be way more expansive, and like the powers will be way more innovative and just way crazier. But I don't feel like it ever really reached that. They all kind of feel a little bit like a first attempt at a new IP.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Definitely.
Which is not to say it's a bad attempt. It's just really.
Well, it's weird because it feels like every time they make one of these games, they have to kind of like retcon so much of what happened in the last game.
They end up changing a lot.
The ending of 2, the 2 different endings,
Yeah.
neither one of them are really like
ideal.
great. You don't really feel good about that story by the time you finish it, no matter what you do.
But I did like the threat. Like the second one felt really cool because you were trying to beat, like you were waiting for that big
the beast,
whatever to show up, and you could always see him off in the distance coming towards the town. Like
the ticking
that
clock.
was really cool.
Yeah.
But the payoff, like the final ending was pretty divisive. Like neither one of those endings seemed pretty ideal. And this obviously assumes one of them happened, the other one didn't.
I don't think it matters. I think that we're not going to see another Infamous game. I feel like no one's ever, like, these games have been fun, but no one's really latched onto any of the characters or the universes. I think that like Sucker Punch is probably being put in a position to where they're ready to make something new, and it's time. It's like they made 3 Sly Cooper games or whatever, so now they need to make something new, and this definitely feels like time for them to have move on.
I feel like if we see this again, it's going to be a while.
There are rumors running around that Sucker Punch may be a Spider-Man game, and that would be fucking awesome.
That would be cool, because the one thing they've always done really fucking well is fucking traversal.
Yeah,
but Sucker Punch is Sony, and Activision has the Spider-Man IP.
It's under the assumption that Sony made some kind of deal with Activision.
Well, yeah, Sony owns the Spider-Man cinematic universe,
but they haven't been doing much of anything with that.
Activision never makes deals with people.
Correct. So we'll see. Neither did Sony until fucking this new Captain America. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Overall, I thought this game was pretty fun. The reason that I got hooked on it was just because I fucking love collectathons, and that's essentially what this game is. It's super fucking collectathon-y, but it's the nice thing is it everything's on the map. All you have to do is unlock. You have to like destroy the dupe area in each sector, and then all of a sudden it shows up on your map.
But on top of that, it's a great collectathon, but at the same time, it has great traversal and fun combat.
Traversal is fun. The combat's fun. I did enjoy some of like the little side missions. Find the hidden dupe agent, and then like the tagging of things was kind of it was a unique kind of, once again they tried to use the enhanced gyro mechanics of the DualShock 4. So you would turn the DualShock 4 sideways, and you would shake it like it's a spray can, and then hold the trigger and spray paint. And so it was kind of unique.
Dude, it's so weird because I haven't thought about this game since I finished playing it, but like suddenly it's popped up in like several different ways in the past week for me. But like someone at work I was talking to, and he doesn't know much about video games, when I was like asking me like, what should I play, or what's cool, and he was like, what's exclusive to the PS4, and I was just kind of thinking about exclusives, and I was like, well, I thought Infamous Second Son was pretty good, and he's like, oh cool, and he just like, right then and there he like Googled it, pulled up a YouTube trailer and was watching, and his the main character's brother,
Delson's brother,
he goes, what the fuck, I know that kid from high school. And it was just, he was like, I knew that guy. I hung out with him a lot.
Were you like,
he was like,
no,
what?
this is a video game.
This isn't real life.
So
There's no such thing
I think
as
you're
superpowers.
confused. It was just totally like, it's weird. Then all of a sudden we've been talking
These
about
people
on the
are made of
podcast.
light.
We've been playing it. It's weird how these things all happen.
I could think of a couple of PS4 exclusives.
Sure.
Well, we don't
I think
need
we
to
all
talk
could.
about them now. But yeah.
Oh, well, there's one that he's been playing.
No, I've been playing a couple.
No, shut up.
A couple?
Well, there's 2 games.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'll kind of lump them together because they're both came from a similar place. But they're both demos, and I just want to talk about them because nobody fucking else here is going to do it, so...
How do you know?
Well, maybe I will, because the one of them I know you're going to talk
Fuck
about is a
you.
game that I've actually had for the longest time, and I've always wanted to play, but I haven't.
Well, let's talk about that one first. There's a demo out now for the Odin Sphere remaster, and it's a pretty remarkable thing. We've had a lot of remasters that have been super fucking lazy, didn't need to happen, have been like PS3 to PS4, just like fucking Dishonored or some shit. Like, why? Why
does that exist?
Just cash grabs, fucking lazy as shit. Well, Odin Sphere, the remaster, is much more than just a remaster. It's kind of a remake in a lot of ways. The game feels and plays completely differently. You got to understand that Odin Sphere was this beautiful game. This is the game that kind of put Vanillaware on the map for a lot of people. And it was a very strange game. Yeah. Muramasa is more of like a straightforward action game, and what's it called? The Dragon's Crown is like a straight up brawler. Mm-hmm. But you might see this demo and think that it's that style of game. But Odin Sphere is actually a lot more ambitious than that, I think. This is not a brawler. This is kind of like, an RPG with like very strange mechanics. This is the one you probably heard me talk about years ago on the podcast where you're like growing plants that sprout sheep. What? And then the sheep run around, you kill them to eat meat, and all this happens during battle because the experience that leeches that flies out of the enemy like Onimusha style, you can absorb it yourself, or it can feed the plants, and that causes the plants to grow. So you're literally planting seeds in battle because you need it to grow to eat the fruit to restore your health. It's crazy. But
and then the acorn that grows from that tree is a large tree when you're children. Oh,
I get it.
Okay,
I understood that reference. So that,
Thank you.
but the thing is, it was a little rough around the edges. Like the frame rate was crap. The combat was a little sluggish. Muramasa improved on a lot of stuff in terms of the look and feel of combat and stuff, and so did Dragon's Crown. Well, they completely redid it, overhauled, added all these new moves and stuff, and this thing plays like a goddamn fucking dream. Dude, I think this is the best playing Muramasa game I've ever fucking played.
Vanillaware game?
Vanillaware game. Sorry, what'd I say?
You said Muramasa.
Yeah,
Muramasa is the best Muramasa game I've ever played.
Yeah. No, this is the best playing Vanillaware game I've ever played, I think. And I've it's shocking. I popped in the original Odin Sphere on the day that I played this demo and broadcasted out some of that, and it's night and goddamn day. This thing feels like fucking side-scrolling Bayonetta. You could just go forever. But they didn't just completely overhaul the design of the combat and the physics and stuff and adding all these new moves and stuff. But they also redid the level design, which was always really flat and straightforward. But now they've added platforming and verticality and stuff, which didn't exist in the original game. I think one of the big flaws of the original Odin Sphere is just how basically non-existent the level design was, and now there actually is a little personality. The demo just kind of moves you from different type to different type. This is not really necessarily representative of what an area would be like, but they're kind of showing off some of the stuff they've done, and it's really impressive. This is not a remaster. This is a straight up remake in a way that you just don't see. I mean, the only one I can think of is when they remade Tactics Ogre for the PSP.
Oh yeah.
And this thing plays like a goddamn dream. But I want people to understand that this is not just a brawler. This game, the presentation of this game is unlike anything in any other Vanillaware game, I think. This is a very story-driven game, and the presentation and the cutscenes and the just the details and the visual style is incredible. I think awesome. even the voice acting and stuff in this game is really good. I remember it's kind of magical. I mean, I remember when I originally played that first Odin Sphere being really surprised by something like this, because you've never seen a game that is 2D have this level of quality put into something like storytelling. And what the unfortunate part of the demo is, it's just straight up combat. We want to show you what we did to completely overhaul the gameplay in this game. So just play it. But if you let it sit on the title screen, and it'll do this 5 or 6 times, it'll go into the redone kind of story sequences as well. So if you download the demo and you want to get a sense of the presentation of the story, just let it sit on that title screen, and every time it kind of loops back to it, that title screen again, it'll take you to a completely different scene, which are scenes from the original game, but it's just kind of showing you no, this is not Dragon's Crown. There was a lot more to it than this. This is not a brawler. So I remember you played the other thing is when you start the demo, you select between 5 different characters. Again, this is not 5 characters to play the game as, like in Dragon's Crown. These are 5 different stories that tie together that you play through from beginning to end. Like you start the game with the character that I'm playing now, but when her story, interconnects with the story of another character, and you're playing through the game as this character, and it goes through the story of all of these 5 characters.
So is it technically the only way to finish the game is to play all 5, or like? To...
I mean, that's the story. That's the thing. This is not a game that gives you the choice of playing 5 characters.
It's like Eternal Darkness.
But
like Eternal Darkness.
But each of their campaigns isn't going through the same areas.
Well, I mean, yeah, you do some backtracking and stuff. I mean, you might be like fighting different things or whatever. Like I said, the level design was not the strength of Odin Sphere. It was the presentation, it was the visuals, it was the storytelling, it was the writing even. And of course, and the combat was always like fine, but it was never the highlight. Now it fucking is. Like, my only concern is they give you so much power that, like, the demo is really easy. And I'm wondering if, like, they've not... I would be worried if they did not tune the game to just the sheer amount of control you have now. But in the original Odin Sphere, there was a hard mode right off the bat. So I'm assuming, like, that hard mode would still be available. So maybe play this game on hard when it comes out. But this thing is launching in a couple of weeks, and it's $30.
Damn.
And like this
is it
game,
digital only, or is it?
Like Odin Sphere is
so.
like a 30-40 hour game. So no, this is on a disc. It's
Really?
on a PS4 disc. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
So I recommend people try the demo. And if you like the way it feels and stuff, let it sit on the title screen and check out like some of the presentation of this game. It's kind of like a take on Norse mythology. So if you kind of like the sound of that,
I do like Norse mythology.
it's very storybook. It's very whimsical. I think you'll really like it. So
Cool.
one other game I've been playing. I can wait till after the break.
Yeah,
though.
let's do it after the break because we do need to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere. What's that? Well, you can get a quick tease. What are you talking about after the break?
Tease me, Brad.
Tease.
Well,
good.
a game that
You tease.
I'm assuming maybe y'all probably haven't heard of, but it's called Grand Kingdom.
Grand Kingdom. We'll talk a little bit about Grand Kingdom, and we'll do a little bit of news, and we will answer some Patreon questions and all that jazz when we come back. Carlos is pumped,
That incessant tweaking.
right? Okay, anyways, yeah, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. This is all very enlightening, but I'd prefer to talk about video games.
All right.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Brad.
Let me
Okay.
quickly go over this next game. It's a
It's about a monkey.
It's called Grand Kingdom. That's the other game I played a demo of.
I've never
Actually
heard
played-
of this.
I know. It's one of these games that has come out. So, like, you're still occasionally seeing the B tier, like, Japanese developed game.
Yep.
But, like, 9 times out of 10, it's getting, like, a Vita release and a PS3 release and a PS4 release, right? And also 9 times out of 10, only the Vita community is excited about these games. But you also probably shouldn't play the Vita version because it's probably going to have, like, a fucked frame rate.
But
Or some shit.
what else are you gonna play your Vita though?
Exactly. That's why a lot of people end up getting these games for their Vita. But if it has a PS4 version, you should probably get that version because it's probably the one that
Way
runs
better.
well. Like the example would be, remember last year I played that game where you're climbing the tower and you're voting people to die and stuff? Like that's another one of these like B tier games that also came out on both Vita and what's it called? And I played the Vita version. The frame
PS4.
rate was shit, you know?
Vita and what's it called?
Wait, what was the name of that game?
Is the one with the monsters?
Hotel California.
It just had a bad name. I mean, that's the thing. All these
That
games
wasn't
have
Tower
bad
of Monsters,
names.
was it?
No.
It was the one. It was
was,
the one with like the Saw Killer kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. But like again, like Grand Kingdom, it's got a bad name. Grand Kingdom's a terrible name. So this does
Better
actually
than
have some
Battleborn.
Vanillaware DNA.
It was called
in
Lost Dimension. I remember.
Dimension. Yeah, sure you did, Nolan. You didn't just read chat. I believe like former Vanillaware people formed this like smaller studio, and they're working on this game. So if you kind of look up close, it looks a little Vanillaware-y. You know, it doesn't look as nice as a Vanillaware game. But I'll say this:
Not many games do.
Grand Kingdom is a twist on kind of like a strategy RPG, and you go into these battles, and you have these like kind of 3 lanes that you can kind of move your characters around, and you're just kind of trying to take your like 4 units or 5 units or 6 units and like trying to take out the enemy. And there's different compositions and different things can be going on in the battlefield. As you see in this battle, cannons are being shot at the field, because when you're outside of battle, there's kind of like a board game map that you're trying to progress through, and you're running into encounters, you're picking up items. You know, you have skills that you can use on the map to kind of like heal up or, you know, move yourself around the map in interesting ways or whatever. But I guess the heart of this game is the battle, and these battles, and it's a class-based system. Like, you know, I have, you know, like a soldier type and an archer type and a healer type, and, you know, like I have some basic classes because the demo would only let you hire units of like the basic classes. But kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics, you know, you're leveling them up, you're equipping skills to use in battle. But what initially caught my eye is the battle system itself. It's kind of unique. I've not seen something like it where it's more. It's kind of tactical, but limited in the way that, you know, you're limited to these 3 lanes, and positioning is very important. You know, like you'll see later that you can place like, you know, like giant like barriers, you know, like on the battlefield. So like if you know, if you want to keep your archer behind like a barricade, it'll be harder for the enemy to get in if your knight is kind of at like the choke point or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
you go through the knight to get to the archer.
Yeah, like you can position your knight between 2 barricades and like go into defend mode, and it's actually pretty hard to get him, you know, to get around him, because you have to kind of break his defense and maybe take him out before you can get to the archers and stuff. So like that sort of positioning on the battlefield stuff seems kind of interesting, and honestly, like it's a pretty meaty demo, but I really do need to see more like interesting like battlefield like combinations or some of these layouts or some more interesting bosses to really see the potential of the game. But I do think there's like a cool idea here. I did have some fun with the combat. My only concern would be, you know, it might get a little repetitive if they don't start introducing some of the more like interesting layouts or enemy combinations like earlier. But it definitely feels fresh, so I might give this a shot when it comes out. It is coming to PS4. I might rent it or something. So if you're curious about the game, maybe just, you know, keep an eye out. I'll probably be playing more of it when it comes out, which I think it comes out pretty soon. I actually have no idea when it comes out, but I'm just surprised we even got a demo for this, because. And same thing with Odin Sphere.
I didn't think demos really existed
Exactly,
anymore.
exactly. And I'm so glad
2 demos
that
this
it
week.
does. Although, Kenton hooked me up with a demo code, so I don't know if you can actually just straight up search for this on the store or what. But
Why are demos not a thing anymore?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
It's a real bummer.
It makes no sense.
Not even for downloadable games like Xbox has.
Like,
That's
not
the
even
best idea ever.
Not even like
Comes out in June.
Not only do you get the benefit of people playing your game first or before it comes out and potentially boosting sales that way, but now that would be working in combination with people who are streaming, and suddenly your demo is getting broadcast to thousands more people, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why would they not be taking advantage of this?
Okay, so this was a beta, because I believe there is a multiplayer aspect to this game, which I did not get into. I think they're actually trying to position this as sort of a game where you play against other people, kind of like, what was that game on
Here we go, the guessing game again.
on the phones, where it was a little kind of Advance Warsy, but you just had like a few units, and you would like do your turn and send it to the other player, and then they would do their turn and they would send it back. Kind of like
sounds
Words with
familiar.
Friends.
Email XCOM.
no, it was kind of like Advance Wars or something.
Chess.
It had like maybe like a little slightly like Warcrafty aesthetic.
I don't remember.
Somebody in chat might know what I'm talking
Clash
about.
of
Clash of
Clans.
Clans.
No, you motherfuckers. This is from like 4 or 5 years ago.
What's the Kate Upton game?
No,
War game?
I have no idea.
God damn it, Carlos.
whatever. People who are
Kate
up on their mobile games might know what I'm talking about. But maybe that's kind of what they're going for. Anyways, I'll
Cool.
probably broadcast it. Keep an eye out. If you think it looks cool, maybe
Sweet.
try it.
Sweet.
Grand Kingdom. I'm going to say the name
yeah.
again because when I was typing out what I played, my impressions for this week, I sat on that Google Doc and I could not fucking think of the name. And I didn't even know how to search for it. I didn't know how to search to find out the name. You know how I found out the name? I pulled up the release schedule for this year and like saw it. And I was
There
like,
you go.
That's the name.
Wait, you went through the whole thing just looking for something that sounded familiar?
Exactly. It's a terrible fucking name. It's not Clash of
That
Heroes.
seems to be going around
Like
right
Clash of Heroes. Maybe
now. All right.
Gears of Thrones.
Let's talk about some news.
Yeah.
There's a few things. Let's start with Brad. I'm just kidding. Let's not start with Brad.
I don't even think I have a news.
I put something on the dock for you
Okay.
because I thought
But
you
did
would
Brad
probably
look
be
at the doc?
more familiar enough with it to talk about
I
it.
didn't look at the doc, so tell me
Well,
what it is.
I put the Valkyria Chronicles demo, Valkyria Azure Revolution. Did you follow this at all, Brad?
Yeah.
Azure.
They're making it.
They are revamping the game's core mechanics, I guess, following a negative reception of the demo.
Yes.
In Japan.
That's not good.
Well, I think
It
that is
good.
No, that is good though, right?
Well,
I mean, here's the
at
question.
the same time, Valkyria
The fact
Chronicles
that-
making it more like an RPG is not making it more like Valkyria Chronicles.
Correct.
That's what they're
But
gunning
at the
at.
same time, I think they were trying to go for like this weird hybrid thing. Like they still wanted to kind of channel. Valkyria Chronicles wasn't really an RPG.
Nope.
So they're like, fuck it. I guess we'll just make it an RPG because what else is this thing going to be? But
Because
you gotta understand, like, this developer has made RPGs very much like this before, and I don't think...
They're just going back to what they know.
I'm a little worried about this project. I'll say that much.
honestly, I've been a little worried about it since it was announced, just because I was like, I have such a reverence for the original Valkyria Chronicles that the thought of even taking it so far outside of that genre kind of freaks me out. Just because, like to me, half the pull of that game was its genre, was
Well, that-
the
more
way
than
was
half.
its yeah, sure. But I mean, I'm also thinking about, like, I really love the characters in that world. I really love the world. I really love the art style, like all that stuff. Like, and they seem to be keeping all of those elements in play, at least to a degree. The game looks gorgeous, and who's to say anything about the character of the story yet? But it could be good. But I don't really want to play like an action game set or brawler or whatever the hell it was originally. Like, I don't want to play that in a Valkyria Chronicles game. I want a fucking RPG of some kind. Even if it's not like
It's essentially not. It's
strategy
it's
RPG.
it's a different game in the Valkyria, and I don't want to say Valkyria Chronicles universe. It's just a different game with a Valkyria Chronicle name on it.
Yeah,
at that point.
And I don't
It
know
just
how
hurts,
appealing that
it
is.
hurts to invoke that name and have
Yeah.
it not be anything like it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't do that.
So I wonder what this means, because, like, pretty much what they said was, negative reception. We're basically retooling or rebuilding or
The best
redesigning
thing
its
for them to
mechanics.
do would not be to tool in RPG elements. It would just be to just rename the game. Just don't call it Valkyria Chronicles.
Sure. And that's probably half the problem. Like, if this didn't have like Hero Chronicles on the title, would that game have gotten a negative reception? Because what if? I mean,
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
what
if it's just
what
not
if it
that
was really
fun?
good gameplay? Just was too
I don't
different.
think it was, though.
Yeah.
That...
Well, it's got multiple negative things going for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Are we ever gonna get a? Well, we're not gonna get a demo for it anytime soon in the States, because
Well, no. I mean, I think you can access the demo if you just download it off the Japanese store.
yeah. Is it still available, or did they pull it down after?
No,
It's still available,
I think
yeah.
it's still there.
They still have PT too.
Thanks for reopening that wound.
Are you serious?
No,
can't-
of course not.
I mean, I still have PT.
Carlos fucked himself.
Dude, I rented the Uncharted collection and it wouldn't install. So I looked it up online and they said, oh, it's a pretty common glitch. You just have to reformat your PS4. I forgot about PT.
No, yeah, I did that too. I accidentally deleted PT thinking like,
still got
it'll
mine.
be available whenever I want to like re-download it.
Yeah.
And it obviously
And
wasn't.
every,
And then
every now and then.
for like 6 months after that, every time I turned on my PlayStation, it'd have a notification
Yeah.
like, could not download PT. It's like months after I'd forgotten about it. After it's already left my mind, my PlayStation would be like, hey, by the way, can't download PT. Like,
It's funny, all you fools out there saying the PS4 Neo is going to make your PS4 completely useless. Fuck you guys. My PS4 will always be my PT machine. Long after I get
could've
the
just
PS4
sold
Neo.
I could have just sold my PS4 for some mad profit.
That's the
'cause it
thing
had
is maybe
PT
I'll
on
sell
it.
mine as PT on it, so maybe
Well,
go for a
if
higher
you have
profit.
PT on it, it's worth something.
Yeah.
Even if that PS4 Neo comes out, you will always have something that's
You should
worth it.
sell it anyways because in a couple of weeks you're going to find out that it's just rubbish hardware anyways.
No, but it has PT, so
Yeah, but you'd have to, if you sold your system with PT on it, wouldn't you have to pretty much abandon your PSN account?
Yeah, that's that account. Yeah, so
Like,
there is a workaround.
no.
Yeah, but it sounds like shit.
No, there's not.
Also,
Ah!
we've played PT. Let it go.
It was fun.
just let it die.
It was scary.
I mean, it never lived.
Crispy, that you couldn't be farther away from your microphone.
it's okay. So
I was just thinking.
in talking about the PS4K, there's now rumors of a new Xbox One.
Okay.
These are
first
more
of all,
than rumors.
First
Yeah,
of
no,
all,
I know.
First of all,
What's up, Nick?
These are sources.
we all knew this. Like, no one was operating the assumption that
it's-
Sony was the only one who was going
It's
to do
the
this.
Xbox One 2.
The Xbox 2.
That would be awesome. What if they actually named it
Play
Xbox One
Battlefield
too?
1 or Xbox One. What?
Battlefield 1 on the Xbox.
Calling
2.
it the Xbox 2 would be the most baller thing they could do.
But they should spell it Xbox TOO.
Xbox 2.
Xbox 2.
Yeah.
There's
Because they're not getting rid of the Xbox One. This is a supplementary hardware. It's
Yep.
the Xbox 2.
We have a product for people who
That's
don't wanna
perfect,
do it.
Crispy.
The Xbox One.
No,
called-
both of these
called
consoles should
board
be called.
games.
It should be the PS4S and the Xbox One S.
So this Xbox is actually codenamed Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Hank Scorpio?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Scorpio.
God, there are so many terrible names they could use for this thing.
I'm so
I
fucking.
just want to play Doom, man.
Of course you do.
But yeah, so
you're gonna play the shitty version of Doom.
You know, these are all the rumors that have been floating around that are kind of not really rumors anymore. They're all but confirmed. We don't have specs or anything.
There is
but,
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We will be getting new hardware at E3 this year. I'm pretty.
hardware will be announced.
Yes, we will be seeing new hardware at E3.
What's his name on Arthur Geese on Twitter, who's a Polygon.
Yeah.
He keeps typing in all caps, "Don't buy a console." Don't buy a console before E3. Trust me on this.
Well,
Yeah. I think that's pretty safe.
so I mean,
bet.
we'll
If you haven't already
in a couple
done it.
weeks. Well, you only have to wait a couple weeks anyway, and we'll be finding out.
Fuck, dude. It's been a year since E3? Oh my god.
It's been 50 weeks.
Yeah, actually, it has
Wow.
been 50 weeks. I was like, how did you do that math so fast? Oh, wait, never mind. I'm dumb. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to bring
no,
up?
it's we knew it was coming, but
That sounds ridiculous.
yeah, it's how old my E3 baby is. It's 50 weeks old. So no, yeah, it is. It's new consoles. We don't know what they're going to be about. I was talking about this with Mike a little bit before the show. You know, potentially modular consoles and stuff like that. Fucking Brad and I were talking about it, how our current consoles are going to not become useless, but to an extent, it's going to suck.
I think the scariest thing about this Xbox rumor in general is that the rumor is not that necessarily we're going to be getting a new Xbox at E3, but that Microsoft actually has plans for 2 more models in the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, something like that.
I was gonna save this rant for my 4-player minute, but this is
Can we keep the rant to a minimum?
this is
Let him loose.
This is obvious. This is related. I was going over a list because we're doing the top 5s, right?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
I was going over a list of like all the shit I was hyped for, right? And I was going down this list and I was working with chat. Come on, like just throw out some stuff. Throw out some stuff that we're hyped about. And I was getting real hyped.
Hype.
And then I fucking realized that pretty sure every single fucking new game we hear about at E3 is you need new hardware to run all of those at their best. Every single one, whether it's coming from Nintendo or Microsoft or Sony, you know every single fucking new game they announce is going to be the inferior version on the current hardware we have. All around.
Sure.
So how do you get excited about new games when you know that looks really cool? I'm gonna have to spend $400 or $300 here
Probably-
or $400
probably
there.
$800.
It's like to play all. I have the fucking Wii U and the Xbox and the PS4, and that doesn't fucking matter anymore because it's all gonna run some bootleg ass, jank ass shit.
I think it really just comes down to how
Second rate.
comfortable are you with the idea of buying new hardware? Because
Not
when you
very.
think about it, sure, you think about it, but like at the same time, spending $300 every 2-3 years.
But it's not $300.
times three?
It's like $900.
Yeah.
Well, if you
There's
get all three.
Well, yeah, if you get all three. But the problem is, I mean, we like to play
I
all the
can tell you
games.
what,
Do
I
I
can
not
tell you
get to
one
play
thing
the
right
best
now.
version of Scalebound?
I can tell you right now, there's not. I'm not going to go out and buy an Xbox One 2.
Yeah, you will.
No, I'm going to buy a PS4 Neo. I'm not going to fucking buy an Xbox One 2 until
Are you gonna
suddenly
play Scalebound?
until suddenly Scalebound is out and people are telling me the only way to play this is on Xbox One 2. Like,
Yeah, but that's going to be every game. Because
but look at my Xbox One library. It's 5 games that I have played. I have beaten one of them. Like I will not go out and buy an Xbox One 2 until it is absolutely positively
this is
necessary.
Microsoft does not get away with this shit.
I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
I
No,
was
go
going to make a stupid joke. I was going to say I really hope it is called the Xbox One 2 because that kind of sounds like the name of a scam. The old Xbox One 2.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Sony maybe has earned it. Okay.
okay.
At least they,
They
have
put
a
out
fucking,
a lot of
like,
good
At
titles.
least they
for
have
their
a
system.
fucking library. You know, third-party exclusives,
I have no. I
first-party
really honestly
exclusives.
have no qualms about buying another PS4 because I think they have done a really good job of supporting that platform. They've proven that they will support the platform.
Like, we still have not had that new Gears or whatever. There's not been a good... Like, the Xbox One has not been a good system.
I mean, honestly, the Xbox, this new Xbox hardware, more than anything, it's going to be really hard to shake the feeling of it just being a redo.
You know?
Like, we have to try again with something different. The PlayStation 4 is like we have the ability to make this better and also to have VR work better if we put out new hardware.
How big?
So let's do it.
How big?
Xbox One is like we fucked up. Let's also do it.
How big do you think the Xbox One 2's power brick is going to be?
Does it come with Kinect?
No.
Connect version
Guys, do you
3.
remember when the Kinect was a thing?
By the way, I didn't
up
even mention
until
VR.
last year.
I hate to fucking break it to you,
Yeah.
but like most of that Sony booth is probably going to be VR.
It's going to be a lot of it, yeah.
Am
You know,
am I
and-
the only one excited about that?
Yes.
I like
Okay.
it. I like the VR
That is
stuff I've
another
seen so
example
far.
of games that you can't get hyped for because you don't own the hardware.
Okay, fine.
Okay, first of all, Brad,
That's
Yeah,
another
I
$400.
I can't buy
Forwards are
it
there.
this year.
Forwards are there.
Brad,
Forwards are there.
there might be a big
You're right.
bigger setup this year for VR, but I highly doubt Sony's booth will be entirely VR. There are so many games coming out that don't need VR.
Gaming as a whole should not progress beyond my budget. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Nick, I hate to break it to you.
Let me
but
tell you something. I have no money. I can't afford anything.
Hold on, Crispy.
Guess
It's
why
not your
Refactor's
budget.
not
It's
gonna be in
fucking
the Sony
America's
booth.
budget.
Fucking
America should
VR.
not be buying VR
Wait,
right
what?
now.
Not with this deficit.
So, guess why Refactor won't be in the Sony booth? Because of fucking VR. Because they've, like, over the past several years, they've done such a good job of devoting so much space to, like, you know, indie games that are coming out on PlayStation hardware. And this year, that's going to be fucking gone. Or, like, it's going to be very minimized because they have to have so much room for VR.
Well, also, Activision's not going to be there. Like, some of the big fucking booth, EA's not going to have a giant booth.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But-
there's a lot more space to work with now, so, you know, maybe... sure, there are going to be some things that had to take a back seat because, yes, VR is coming, and there will be VR presence in the booth.
It's so hard to
for
get
sure.
excited about it, too.
But there are still a lot of games that are coming out for PS4 that are don't have anything to do with VR at all, that are going to be playable on the show floor, and they will be represented.
Sure. I mean, you're going to play probably Horizon and Last Guardian and stuff, and that's great, but...
You think we're going to play Last Guardian?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean,
You
you
don't
know,
think it's going to get delayed?
it got a release.
Dude,
It got a release.
there are two hands-on previews of people
Release window
for
or
outlets who
whatever.
have played The Last Guardian.
Yeah.
Edge,
new footage out
Edge
there.
Magazine
Does it
and
feel like a
IGN have
10-year-old
both
game?
played The Last Guardian, which is crazy. That'll absolutely be at the show floor this year. I'm promising you that.
When was Last Guardian announced?
First E3 we ever went to.
2006.
2006.
Shut the fuck up.
No. It was not announced at the first E3 when we saw the trailer.
Yeah.
The first trailer was at the first E3 when we ever went to. The game was announced 2 years prior to that.
Really?
2004?
2006.
Oh.
The first
year
the
that
first
you
time
went
it
was
was ever
2008.
shown.
Correct.
Was the first time it was ever shown was the first Sony press conference I ever went to.
Which was 09. The 2006 was when it was first announced, I believe.
10 years.
That's why. Does
Trico
it
was
feel
a
like a
thing.
10-year-old game?
Yeah.
Is there, like, do you think there are just entire, like,
Final Fantasy 15 was also
games
announced in
that
Yes.
2006.
Dude, that first press conference that we ever went to for Sony was amazing because it was Last Guardian, followed by Final Fantasy 13. Before we knew what it was. That was exciting. Followed directly by Final Fantasy 14. Everybody thought they were joking. Like, that was such a weird press conference.
Yeah.
They were
07.
like, they showed 13. People were like, oh my god, Final Fantasy 13. They're like, and we've got 14. People were like, ha ha ha. And then the lights started dimming out. People were like, what the fuck are they doing? And then they showed 14, which was obviously an MMO, but still, people were like, what?
Dude, people still play that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Apparently.
I also think they showed a Versus 13 at that conference.
yeah.
Dude, that was a big Final Fantasy conference for sure.
Remember this most recent one? Final Fantasy one we got? Remember
Dude,
that?
I guarantee you we'll be seeing that game at E3
Oh,
this
no,
year
yeah,
too.
we definitely will.
What, 7?
7 remake, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably find
think
out
they-
what the release structure for
they
that
have
game
any?
is.
That's optimistic.
Made?
I think they have so much work to do. on
No,
that
I think
project.
we were going to see more cinematic stuff. I don't think we're going to see gameplay necessarily. I mean, we've seen some gameplay, but I doubt we're going to be seeing. I don't think it'll be anything playable.
I think it'll have a major presence at the Sony press conference. What that means, who knows?
That remains to be seen.
I will say this: Sony has delivered pretty entertaining, satisfying conferences the past 2 or 3 years.
No, yeah, they've
had
definitely
some
been good.
big surprises and big stuff. So, I'm excited. Anyways, we've gotten off track a little bit.
A little bit.
I wanted to also. This is also E3 related, but has to do with Nintendo. So as we all know, Nintendo is doing nothing but Zelda this year. Zelda. Their conference is nothing but a tree. What do they call it? Treehouse.
Playhouse?
Yeah.
Treehouse.
Yeah, they're doing that.
A
Treehouse Live.
Treehouse is their
Live.
development studio,
It's
whatever.
their
Nintendo's-
localization.
Yeah,
In-house localization.
Okay.
They're doing nothing but Zelda streaming. They've already announced they're going to be doing a event in New York City simultaneously with E3 where they're going to have 500 fans come play Zelda and all that stuff. But the big thing so at first I was kind of like, okay, cool. It kind of sucks to only be seeing Zelda, but at the same time that means there's going to be a lot of kiosks, a lot of opportunities for people to go play it. I was like, possibly no long lines. Like you could just probably walk up and play Zelda because there'd be so much of it. But now we're finding out that they're not only doing 2 extensive demos, they're saying it can take upwards of 90 minutes to complete the entire demo.
Jesus Christ.
So unless they have like 100 kiosks and they're not letting people, they better not be letting people play on the show floor for 90 minutes.
Why would you stand in one
No,
place
there's no
like
way.
looking at a screen? For
I think there
90
might be
minutes?
some like theater presentations or something.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Of partially, and
There's
then
no
you'll play a little
Nintendo
bit
booth
of
this
it.
year. There is a Zelda booth.
I'm excited to see.
You know
all
what
that
they're going to
stuff,
do
though.
is they're going to have the wood long lines, but then they have the DS girls walking around with the DS.
They still
strapped to
do
their-
that. They were doing
yeah.
that last
the,
year with
the DS chastity belt.
Yeah.
that
Yep.
they were-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First time I ever played a 3DS was tied to a girl's waist. That
I
was
think
weird.
that. Maybe.
Yeah, that was
maybe.
when they announced
Right
the
after the
3DS.
press
Yeah.
conference.
And we
She's
were all-
surprisingly cool with it.
yeah.
I was tugging on it and everything.
How do I get this? I can't take this with me. Anyways,
The 3DS?
it's crazy to think though because it's fucking Zelda, and we don't even have a name for it yet. And all of a sudden, next month we'll have a name.
The Zelda PU.
There will be a lot of Zelda footage out there.
It's all part of the
A lot of hands-on footage with hands-on impressions of Zelda. Everyone's gonna be talking about Zelda, so they must have. I would. It makes me feel like they have confidence in this one.
You know
Like
what
they have
better
something to
fucking
prove.
have? They better have a good fucking trailer.
Yeah,
Tired of their
yeah, you're right.
wet ass farts. They announced Star Fox with a blurred screen.
yeah.
Like, what is wrong with them? What the fuck is wrong with
the
them?
past 4 years, I don't know what the fuck they've been doing.
My God.
You think this will be the one where
They've already shown the
Link
game.
finally talks?
They've already. Well,
No, I did not report
don't
the wrong
think so.
info. In,
I think
MGS.
everybody else
they
is.
they are asking the media to set aside 90 minutes to play both demos. They did not specify whether or not that's for private media's appointments, which
Yeah,
they
they
are
didn't
not
specify.
extending to everybody. We're probably not going to be playing any private media demos of Zelda. We'll probably have to play on the show floor.
I'll get
So I
in.
don't think we'll be playing it for
I'll get
90
in.
minutes. If we do, it probably means we'll have to play one of the demos and then go wait in line again and play the other
I was
demo.
the first one of us to play a Wii U. Because I
Really?
was like, hey, Nintendo, let me play it. And they were like, okay, but first Hero from Heroes is going to go ahead
yeah.
of you.
That's-
That motherfucker.
Yeah, that
fuck
happened.
Hero.
Right?
That
What's his
happened.
name?
Who wants to make bets on
Forget his
what
name.
celebrities we're going to see this year?
Maki?
We always see the weird.
We should start a betting pool as to what the new Nintendo system is going to be called.
That's tough.
well, we're not
that's
going to find out at
impossible.
E3, so.
Well, I mean, we could break it down. Whoever gets the first letter correct,
The Nintendo Extreme.
you get a certain.
Well,
bet.
that's no.
Anyway.
Masioka, thank you.
Something dumb.
Thank you, Chris Davis. Masioka is the jackass who cut in front of me.
What other?
Carrying this grudge for a while.
Are there any other news topics?
Inside has a release date apparently.
Really?
June.
June.
Really? That's a game that we could play on
Wait
our
a second.
Xbox.
There is a news topic that
Is that
we
coming
haven't.
to PC too?
Yeah.
Crispy.
Get over you, scrunching me again.
No Man's Sky has been delayed.
No Man's Sky
How
has
are you
been
doing,
delayed.
Crispy?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate everyone's concern, but I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's not a big delay.
I'll be,
It's
yeah,
not a
it
huge
just
delay.
got pushed back to what, like August 9th?
Now,
Or
let's
something
be honest.
Like
Like,
that?
look at the scope of that project. Like, you know, I didn't even think it was gonna be coming out this year. So the fact that it's coming out a month later.
Yeah, I mean, it's, whatever. Life is pain.
Oh,
So,
Really? I'm sorry.
Oh god damn it!
Lord.
I cut in front of J52 at PAX 2011. Really? What did I cut in front of you for?
As of this
The bathroom.
morning, it was still a rumor, but apparently within the last few
It's
hours,
official.
they have
It is official.
officially
I
declared.
mean, there were so many outlets reporting that,
No,
like
but-
simultaneously. That I was like, "There's no way this is not true."
If you watch the story breaking, Kotaku reported it.
Yeah.
And then an hour
Never
later,
trust that.
everybody else was picking up on the Kotaku article.
Yeah.
So it's not like everybody was getting a lead that was like, oh, no one's got it right. So Kotaku got it right, apparently, but they were
Kotaku was lucky.
They were
2016.
lucky. Kotaku was
Oh, I apparently cut in line to play Lollipop Chainsaw. I was saving you, J52, from playing Lollipop Chainsaw. I'm sorry. I apologize for cutting in line. I didn't want to wait 3 hours. I'm sorry. That was a low blow. So yeah, No Man's Sky delayed.
No Man's Sky's delayed.
I mean, you got
I'm
games to play.
I'm
You got to play
little
Dark
sad.
Souls 3.
Yeah, that's true. It gives
Gotta
me
play
more
Doom?
time to play some Dark Souls. It gives me more time to play some Overwatch.
More time to play some of the Division. Come on, Chris Davis.
Fuck you.
Dude, actually, I'm sorry, but I traded in the Division to get Overwatch.
Good.
You bought the Division?
Yeah, I did. Well, I played the beta, and I liked the beta. I did the exact same thing with Destiny, too. I bought it, played it for like a week, didn't touch it. And I'll probably
Ironically-
go back in a year and, I don't know.
Do you
really
forgive me,
into it.
J52? J52 is holding grudges.
She got Doom.
Brad, you waited in line for Lollipop Chainsaw?
I mean, probably, I don't know. Before we knew it sucked.
All right. Oh, did anyone else watch that Deus Ex trailer? The
I
live
did
action trailer?
You might
the
see
live
it
action
in a
one.
I'll be
upcoming
honest,
trailer.
my hype level for that game has been pretty low just because I thought it looked kind of samey. But I also watched that trailer and I was like, I remember.
The problem is, even if it is samey, it was a great fucking
Dude, it
game.
was a
The
great
last
game.
couple of trailers they put out. Were
Sure, it's
fucking-
a great look. It's a great game. It's one of those things where it's like every time I watch it, I kind of feel like I'm watching a trailer for a game that came out a couple years ago. But like this is the first trailer where I was like, holy shit, they're hitting home that story that they're telling in this one, which I
Yeah.
think actually sounds really intriguing. And then it just made me, all the feels come back, the nostalgia where I just remembered, oh yeah, Deus Ex Human Revolution was pretty fucking good. So my
Hopefully
hype
the
level is
boss fights
actually
are good this time.
my hype level is actually rising for that game, so that's pretty cool.
Higher and higher.
All right, so Nolan,
What up?
are you ready? I'm gonna sneeze right now, so please take over.
Okay. Bless you.
Achoo.
Oh, you got it out.
God damn. Excuse me, I apologize. Are you ready for the community?
I am.
All right, let's do it.
The community. I'm excited for the community.
Carlos is just not budging.
So, in less exciting news, no new patrons this week.
What?
What the
What?
fuck?
I saw one earlier.
They're all back in
no,
my
you didn't, Nick.
Patreon.
I think you saw someone changing their donation level.
Everyone go back Carlos's Patreon.
I know we had one person who resubscribed, and thank you.
Well, resubscribe, but I mean,
Yes,
we've
but I
already
thought I
thanked
saw
them
a different
before.
one.
They don't
Maybe
get-
I'm wrong.
You saw a second person who resubscribed. You don't get thank yous for leaving and coming back.
Well,
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Maybe not an official thank you, but I still thank you.
I think you, thank you both.
All right. Anyway, let's move on to some questions.
Con, thank you, Con.
He's an
Davis-
ex-con.
Ex-con.
Okay?
Oh, ex-con.
Don't be a jerk.
Sorry, I'm not hip. Ex-con.
He left that
Thank
dark
you for
past behind him.
Thank you for subscribing for the 8th month in a row. Sorry, continue.
All right. So the first question this week from Mick Lopa.
Miklopa?
Nick Lopa?
Mick Gordon.
Yeah. What is with you guys this week? Come on.
Nick Lopa?
Put some oomph into it.
Part of what I feel
Yodel-a-heo.
makes 4-Player podcast the best. Hold on. Nope.
Michelopa?
Nope. That was from last week. Sorry.
Fuck
Because I remember
Michelopa.
the first question being from McLopa, but then I actually pulled up last week's. All right, here's the real question from McLopa. Sometimes we wish we could experience things for the first time once again, like McLopa's question from last week. Whether that's being a moment in life for smaller things, like the first time you ever got drunk and arrested, or the first time you ever had sex. If you had the chance, is there any video games you enjoyed so much that you would like to wipe out your memory just so you could relive the magic one more time? Briefly explain what you enjoyed so much about it.
Dude, if
Wouldn't that be everybody's favorite game?
Resident Evil 4.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, if everyone's fit, like obviously, if I could relive Ocarina of Time for the first time again, that'd be amazing.
But you have to do it in 2016, right?
Yeah.
So maybe playing through Ocarina of Time for the first time in 2016 would not be that impressive.
you know what?
Because you've already played Twilight
There's
Princess.
2 games that come to mind. I wish I could experience Alan Wake for the first time again.
Of
Yeah.
course. In Singularity.
Because a lot of
Getting caught up in
No.
all those story
I
beats.
was
Like, oh, shit.
exactly. That had a lot of great moments.
Cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. Oh, my God, dude.
Thank you, Carlos. I don't know if you're trolling me right now, if you're
this
serious,
is a
but
good
thank
choice,
you.
though.
I will also say Alien Isolation's a recent one, but man, that game was so good, and I feel like part of the magic of that game really is experiencing it for the first time. Like I would still love to play it again, but something about that game was so, I think inherently reliant on playing it for the first time.
I feel like it needs to be something that still would be unique and fresh if you've experienced it for the first time, like today, right?
Sure.
That's why I would
Sure,
say
Brad.
I would like to experience FTL for the first time again. Because that's something that you play that, like, anybody who's never played it before could, like, play that game right now and go, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible. But, like, as opposed to, like, like if I played Diablo 2 for the first time again, like, it wouldn't have the same effect as it did on me when I played it back in the day. I probably wouldn't even get into it. You know what I mean? So you got to think about where you are as well.
See, it's funny because
The other thing is Final Fantasy Tactics. I still think it's like unparalleled. So I think that is for me too.
I feel like
because
I'll
hasn't been
tend to
beaten.
gravitate towards like stories that I wish I could experience again.
I think that's the same with me. Like my first thought kind of went to like Red Dead.
Yeah,
And that was a game that it wasn't just the story, it was the world.
I keep forgetting we're probably gonna get a Red
it'll be
Dead
a
2
good
next
one.
month.
Maybe.
You know, be a good one.
What's that?
Portal.
Portal's
Yeah,
a good one.
Portal would be a good one. That's
because that's the
Portal 2
problem is
exists, though.
going back and playing Portal. I know all the puzzles, and
dude.
so it's
I wish I could go back and wipe every puzzle game from existence and then play
Right.
Portal.
Yeah. And the
'Cause
other
that
one,
would
the
just-
other one I was gonna
Like
say
if you
was
never played.
The Last of Us,
Yeah.
just because that story is one that kind of it's really good.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
Oh yeah.
Firing up factions for the first time.
That-
You're like, I'm
that's-
just going to play the multiplayer for one round.
that's what
or
I'm
two
most
just
excited
because
for.
whatever.
Last of Us 2, is Factions 2.
Factions 2?
Yeah.
That very first trailer I've ever saw of Portal has to be one of the most like
Oh, the
just
the
the very first
pre-rendered one,
Yeah.
where it's like that. Yeah, it wasn't
With
actually
little
game
figurines.
It was
Well, it
pre-rendered.
had that, but it also had like what looked like in-game footage, but it was all pre-rendered and it was stuff like Chell like looking around the floor while like tiles are dropping out. And there's like fire under the floor and everything. And there's
Portal
the
1?
part, the first Portal, the very first trailer they put out. And there's a part at the end where Gladys is like, "This next test is impossible," and it just shows this like giant chamber with all these like panels flipping around.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
All right,
Your
next,
little GLaDOS impression just made me really want to play Portal again.
good game.
It's one of the greatest games
Next,
ever made.
next question from Dante. If you were all members of the Avengers, who do you think you would be?
I'd be the Hulk.
You are angry.
God.
Maybe you'd be the Hulk.
Who would I be, guys? Who would I
don't
be?
get angry at life. I get angry.
but what I'm saying is like I feel like you suppress your
I think
anger.
Nick, you'd be
and
Black
when you
Widow.
finally unleashed it,
You got that booty.
I would be okay with this.
Black Widow.
because you touch your own butt.
Have you ever seen that
Does
picture?
she touch her own butt a lot?
What?
Is that what she's done?
I
That's what
hope
you would
so.
do. But the problem is you couldn't stick your face in it, Nick, and that's really what you want.
That is
Oh,
true.
he's
That is-
flexible. He'd be flexible
I'd
enough.
find a way. Have you seen that picture from the set of the Avengers where it's Tom Hiddleston and why what can I remember?
Scarlett
his name?
Johansson? Oh.
Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Standing there in costume,
In costume. They're
and
like
Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson is
Johansson's
right in
butt.
front of them, and they're both totally just caught, just completely just staring at her ass. It's perfect. But yeah, that would totally be me.
There you go.
No, I would be. I don't fucking know. It's so weird. It's like deciding which Avenger you'd be is so presumptuous.
I don't even know who's.
Apparently,
the
chat
Avenger.
says I would be Iron Man. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, sure.
I can
Of
see
course
that.
you would be.
I could see that. I think if
Go ahead, say it. What am I, Crispy?
Nick would be Ant-Man.
Oh, come on!
Just joking. But like Hank Pym Ant-Man, original Ant-Man,
Dude, I'll
Wife
take
Beater,
I'll take Spider-Man. Thank you
Wife
very
Beater
much.
piece of shit. Yeah, but I mean, are we going original?
We are
You'd be
going
like Tobey
'cause here's the
Maguire,
thing.
emo,
Fuck you.
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man wasn't part of the Avengers until like 2005 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
But he did crossover stuff with them.
He worked with them a lot.
he
He wasn't
hung
an
out with
official
them.
This
Yeah.
question
member.
didn't specify when.
Okay.
So we're out of all the Avengers, I'm picking Spider-Man.
Okay.
Or Hawkeye. Hawkeye's pretty cool.
Dude, Hawkeye's Hawkeye's fun.
I think
Also,
Crispy would wanna
Hawkeye,
be Hawkeye.
MCU Hawkeye was in a Bourne movie, so sure, I'll take Hawkeye.
I think, yeah, I
I'm
think
Thor.
you could do it.
Fuck it.
You'd be Thor.
What am I? I guess I'm Hulk.
Yeah, I think
You could be
there's
Thor.
really no other way for you to go.
You could be
You're Hulk.
You could be Jarvis.
Captain America. You're the Wasp.
All right, next question from Nick the Batman. What's the best episode of The Simpsons?
Say it, Crispy. Hold on.
You're the Vision.
The one that's got like
is-
20 short stories
he's
about
lame.
Springfield.
He's
That's a
not
good one.
lame. The Vision's awesome. The Vision is also horribly misunderstood.
All
and
right.
not very human.
We're not talking about that
It
anymore.
all
We're
sounds
talking
like
about
Brad.
The Simpsons now.
All right, The Simpsons. I'll be honest. I couldn't name any particular episode of The Simpsons. I don't know.
You don't have to know
names?
the name. Yeah, no, they don't have
I
names.
think of The Simpsons. I didn't watch all of The Simpsons, but when I think of The Simpsons, I immediately flash back to the episode with see, I can't even remember their fucking names.
That's fine. Homer, Marge,
No,
Maggie, Lisa, Mr. Skinner.
Skinner, there is sitting there and he's like, I think I'll donate $10,000 to the children's hospital. And he's like, Smithers is like, really? And he's like, when pigs fly. And then
yeah.
right then you see the pig fly
Yeah.
across the horizon.
That's when
that
Lisa-
was,
that's
that
a
was when
great
Lisa
episode.
became a
Vegetarian.
vegan
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a vegetarian, and they had
That
the
is where my
barbecue.
brain immediately
That's
goes.
a great episode.
I love that episode.
It's still good. It's still good.
It's still good. Yeah, I love that episode.
There's a bunch. There's actually the other day I flipped on the TV and one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons came on, and it's the one with Linguo when Lisa makes the language robot.
Yeah.
The grammar robot, and Homer tries to like give it beer and stuff. Oh, I thought it was a party robot. And just like all that's an episode where it kind of follows the lives of each character throughout their day, like what was going on, but they all kind of tie back into each other. That's a really good episode.
I've got a couple answers.
Hold on, I was gonna say the one with the Dalmatian or the dogs.
Yeah.
The Be My Vests when he does the whole musical number about wanting to turn the puppies into clothing items. And then yes, what was the other? The other one. I really liked the one where they went to Japan. I thought it was one of the more recent ones. It's not definitely.
Is that with their eyes?
That wasn't
Yeah.
that
Oh my
recent.
God.
That was the one where like they
it's
turn
recent
on
for
TV
me.
and it's like they have Pokemon on TV and everyone
Everyone
like,
starts
has a
having
seizure.
seizures, like when they're like leaving Japan or whatever. Like Bart's playing his Game Boy, and she's like, "You need to turn that off," and he turns it off, and the plane starts to crash. She's like, "Oh, turn it on!" And then like there's like the talking toilet and stuff,
Yeah.
and that's not the one with Mr.
with the
Sparkle.
camera in it.
Yeah, that's not the one with Mr. Sparkle. That's a
Mr.
different
Sparkle.
one. That's a really good one though.
I have a hard
Okay.
time kind of
I've got
pinpointing it.
before I lose these. Let me
Yep.
throw mine out there. First of all, basically most of the Treehouse of Horror
that Treehouse
episodes
of Horror
See,
are
that's
great.
what I was going
are
to say.
fantastic.
Dick.
The episode where Homer starts working for Hank Scorpio,
Yes.
one of my favorites.
Max-
That's
yes, Max Power.
Fucking Hank
No,
Scorpio.
no, I know, but
Oh,
when he
right,
asks
right.
Homer his name, he reads it off
Right.
the hairdryer, and he says his name is Max
Yeah,
Power.
yeah, you're right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's so
that's
good.
right.
It's so good. Okay. The episode. Oh fuck. The episode where they. I think it's the one where they talk about when Maggie was born and Hank. Homer was. I was thinking King of the Hill for a second.
Yeah.
Homer was. Homer was with they had that barbershop quartet group, and they sang that song "Baby on Board." Oh, how I adore that baby. Yeah, I used to get that song stuck in my head all the time. And I've got another one. I'm losing it. Somebody else go. I'll come back.
I always love the episode with Ralph on the bus, and the fruit races.
They're racing the
go
fruit.
apple, go orange, go banana. I fucking love that.
Dude, Ralph's great. The episode where Ralph has the leprechaun talking to him, and that is a great fucking episode. Where he's like, that's the sandbox where I found the leprechaun. He told me to burn things.
You know what you have to do, lad? Burn them all to the ground.
That's a good episode.
Man, I'm slowly realizing I've seen a lot more Simpsons than I thought.
The Simpsons, the monorail one is good. There was one more I was trying to think of. It's not the entire episode's not great, but it's when Homer learns what his middle initial stands for.
J.
Homer J. Simpson. When he
It
learns,
stands for J?
Yeah, it's J-A-Y.
Aren't
His
those
middle name is
monorails
J.
really loud? It glides as softly as
As
a cloud. Monorail, one more time. Monorail, what's it called?
Brad,
How's it
anything? Treehouse of Horror.
I like Treehouse of Horror.
Carlos, you got any?
There's some really good ones. The one with like the Treehouse of Horror when he like goes back in time and he like steps on a mosquito.
Oh my god, with the toaster?
Yeah.
I have a hard time I don't know. I have a hard time kind of like there's funny moments in Simpsons episodes that are hard to like place in the storyline of a given Simpsons
That's
episode.
why I laughed.
Watch out, radioactive man! Like that episode is
That's
great.
a good one.
The goggles, they do nothing.
What is the one? What is the one where Homer makes the friend who's I can't remember his name now, but he's a little flamboyant.
Oh,
Yeah.
played by John Waters?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's like, that's called a discombobulator. He like has that like kitschy toy store.
Yeah.
That like
and then Marge is trying to
Zap.
subtly tell Homer that he's gay, and he's like, Homer, he's attracted to. Oh, no, what is he? He prefers the company of men. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? He takes Bart to that steel mill,
Yeah.
and they're like, he's like, what's going on? We work hard. And we play hard. And it turns into like a gay dance club.
There's like sparks flying everywhere.
It's so weird that. Do you all still watch like The Simpsons?
No, I haven't watched an episode
Because
of
my
The
memory of
in,
The
like,
Simpsons
years.
is from so long ago.
Back when it was really good.
Oh, the Itchy and Scratchy World.
Wait, are they still making new episodes?
They just recently had one where Homer
Are they even the same voice?
like answers questions live.
For the most part, yeah.
Wow.
All right,
All right.
long time
I
reminiscing.
didn't think that question would go that long, but that's good.
From Sunny,
Maybe not read that.
wait, really? It's just kind of a long question. What, Kristen?
Did you get to the end of the question?
No, the wing.
Skip the bottom.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, from Pioche. I'm skipping Sunnies. I'm skipping Sunnies for today. You're all pro
too
wrestlers. How do they introduce you into the ring?
They probably just throw me in. just launch me over the ropes.
I'm gonna wheel Nick out on a standing gurney like he's Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, I'd take that. I'd take that. Dude, that would be awesome. Yes, thank you, Crispy. I'm glad you're here to come up with these
for
things.
me, I would want to pop out of a hole in the ring, like a trap door opens and I pop out
just come
and I hit
flying
someone
out.
with a chair.
Oh man,
That's how I get introduced.
I'd want like pyrotechnics going off, but like they just keep going off for 20 minutes and the match just keeps going as if they're not going off, but they're still going off. And I'll have like 4 American flags. I'll be wearing one like a cape. I'll be waving one around. I'll have an American flag bandana, and my briefs will be American flags.
There you go.
of course, without question.
I'm just sitting in the audience, hanging out.
Brad,
I have no idea. Although I did watch a pretty good. So there's this one like Street Fighter tournament that does like wrestling entrances where they do it like in a wrestling ring. I was watching videos of like various people's entrances, and one person's like it goes completely black, and I think they're playing like Undertaker's music. I don't really know too much about.
I know nothing about professional
I've seen
wrestling.
it.
And like it's pitch black, and they're like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then they turn the lights back on, and they pan over, and he's like sitting right next to his opponent.
I don't
that
know.
shit was funny.
I can't name names because the only wrestler I know is John Cena But
Yeah,
there's that
Dominion.
one guy. Who's the guy with the long black hair and like the black and white face paint?
Sting.
Sting? Is that Sting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
like-
kind of looks like the Crow.
Yes, thank you. So
Sting.
Sting, he's like there's somebody in the audience dressed as Sting, and he
Oh,
stands
he's
up.
he's wearing a
He's
mask.
wearing a Sting mask. Yeah.
And then he takes it off and it's Sting.
Yeah, that was fucking great. All right. Final question for the evening from Don Dolan.
Don Dolan.
What game was the most difficult for you to acquire, and was it worth the trouble?
Game that was most difficult. To
Yeah, so a game you
acquire.
really had to go out of
Man.
your way to get.
Man, so I had a really hard time finding a copy of Guitaru Man back in the day. But yeah, that game's fucking dope. It's just so hard that I never beat it. But
I never really had to try
really love
too
that game.
hard because I was a lot of the time when this was going, like when I was doing the podcast for years, I was working at GameStop. So when we were talking about a game and I wanted to track it down, it would either be in the store or I would like find other stores and have them send it
the
to
thing
me.
is, the last games from the last couple of gens have not been hard to find. Period. Like there's not like rare games are kind of a thing of the past. You know,
Yeah.
as far as now.
I think I had really good luck with Fatal Frame 1 and 2, but I think I had to work hard for 3 to find that at some point.
But that got reprinted eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's finding copies of like Suikoden 2 or like Valkyrie Profile, like which are PS1 games back in the day when GameStop still had those sitting around, was like fucking. I used to go on GameStop's website and like search within 100 miles just to see if I could find a copy, and would go to drive all over the place because I used to kind of collect games. I mean, that's why I have so fucking many of them because sometimes you find really good deals where GameStop would be selling them for like way cheap,
Yep.
For me, it would be Haunting Ground on the PS2.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Rule of Rose is one I also had trouble tracking.
It was actually when I was working at Game Crazy.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any copies of it. And I tried so fucking hard to get a copy from a different store and even to GameStop. And I think it took me like a year to get a copy of the game.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have a big release here.
Crispy, anything come to mind for you?
No. I mean, like most of the stuff that I've wanted to play that would be like hard to find is either something I can emulate or is something that was like Brad was saying from the last couple generations, and then I just go to Game Over.
Yeah, I mean,
They can be a little pricey, but it's like
still get it
like
there,
the closest thing I can think of at the moment is like I don't know, Phantom Dust. And all I had to do was go on to Game Over, or Game Over's website and order it and go pick it
Yeah.
up in 2 days.
I mean,
What
we
about
have-
imports? Anybody ever import anything?
Siren Blood Curse. I had to import that from Japan.
There was a
But it wasn't particularly. I got it from Play Asia, I think.
There was a Dragon Ball Z game on the PS1.
Yeah.
that I spent
the blue cover?
Yeah, I spent a
I
lot of
remember
time trying to get a hold of that. And
Wait,
then I had to-
PS1
Yeah.
was that?
It was a fighting
22
game.
Ultimate Battle 22.
maybe I can't remember what it was now, but I had to get the fucking this is the he hits him with a chair or whatever, and then he
kind of.
yeah.
He kind of.
But anyway,
And the review.
and you had to fucking use like the paperclip on your PS1 to get it to play like Japanese games or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are the days back
Yes,
then.
it was. Chai's right. It was Dragon Ball GT Final Bout. That was the game.
I remember people hunting down that thing, but it sucked.
Oh
too.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was
it
horrible.
wasn't great.
It was
I mean,
fucking
it
horrible.
was the
I mean,
only.
But I was like
Dragon Ball
15
Z
and I
game,
fucking
yeah.
loved Dragon Ball Z.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was in the same boat.
I remember
I mean,
eBay used to have it for like $200.
dude, didn't most Dragon Ball Z games back in the day suck?
Oh god, they were all horrible.
Most of them, if you collect all of them, most of them suck.
Dude,
But if you
know-
get 7 discs and you put them in a fucking pattern, they still suck.
You know, so it's kind of an extension of the question that was just asked. Like, I probably worked my ass off to try and find a copy of Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 on PS1.
Yeah.
Finally found it. I don't even remember where I found it. I remember it was a Game Over or something, or not Game Over. It was one of those old game stores in the mall. It's not around anymore.
Yeah.
Game Fellas.
Ah, yeah.
Found it at Game Fellas, finally, tracked it down. It was just back, like, my mom had to take me to the mall to get it. And
Oh, God, I remember that
I went
shit.
in there, and I was like, oh, shit. I found it. And they had where you could actually play it in the store. And I popped it in and played it, and I was like, this is not fun at all. Like, this is terrible. And I had spent so long trying to find
Res
it.
was another one that was really rare and hard to track down.
But now you got Res HD.
A good memory I have of Dragon Ball Z games, slightly off topic, was when I worked at Game Crazy.
Yeah.
And we had 2 kiosks in the store that were pillars in the middle, and they had 3 TVs around
Yeah.
them. And though there was one that faced the counter, and I would always stand behind the counter and plug in a wireless controller and play games. And there I was playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2.
Yeah.
Which was a good one. And
They
some,
added cell shading.
yeah, some kid walked in and he picked up the controller and started playing it while I was playing it. And some other kid
So were
walked
you
up. Yeah, I
fighting
was
him?
controlling it. No, he wasn't even playing. His controller wasn't plugged in.
Oh.
And some other kid walked up and was like, well, "You're really good at this." He was like, "Yeah, I know, I'm good." But I was playing the whole. And then I paused it, and he
That's
was
awesome.
like, "I'm done playing now."
You should have
And he
started
sat
like
down.
intentionally eating shit.
He walked out of that store thinking like, man, I'm just really good at games. I feel effortless.
Well, if you're just mashing in a fighting game, I mean,
Oh yeah. Anyway,
Real quick to answer, I saw Lemur in chat asked when this podcast will be available, and Chris Davis gave him the wrong answer. I'm gonna get this up tomorrow
well there you go.
because it's Friday.
bitch.
Yep. So
Last week was a little
Is
weird.
it Friday?
yeah, right. It feels fucking weird doing the podcast on a Friday. But anyway, thank you for all of our patrons who asked questions. I know I skipped a couple this week. Don't fret. We just can't. We can't spend like 40 minutes on questions every week. If I skipped your question, feel free to ask it again next week.
Yep.
I'll post another thread, and yeah.
Yep. All right. It's time to wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. I'm sure we all remember what that is. I don't need to tell you, Brad.
I don't.
Shut up, Carlos. I'm just kidding. It's hype, sweat, shame, and fuck. You got that?
in
All right.
that
you want to
order.
go first, Carlos?
Brad. Oh, or Carlos. You ready? Can you pull this out of your ass?
Yeah, sure. Hi, tomorrow, community night with Nolan. I like multiplayer games. Nolan's gonna play Uncharted 4.
You gonna join us, Brolos?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. There's no factions, but it'll do.
Are you gonna join Crispy?
I don't have Uncharted.
Sweat.
He's never played an Uncharted. We've been
What is
over
it?
this.
Sweat and what?
Sweat?
Sweat.
What are you worried about?
Weird life choice.
Nothing.
Really? You don't worry
Yeah.
about anything? Nothing? I mean, I guess you don't worry about anything when you already hate video games, right?
Yeah. I mean, my biggest worry up to this point was Doom, and that's fine. So I mean, I'm done. I
it's
guess.
just fun.
It's,
Yeah.
it's all
all
downhill
done.
from here. We're good. What about your fuck you of the week? You got a fuck you?
Fuck you goes to fucking trophy in Doom. I 100% of the game, and one of the trophies glitched, and I can't get the platinum for it.
That's gotta suck.
Yep.
That's really gotta suck. And thank you. You gotta thank you. Anything you want to thank?
Oh my god, thank you, id Software.
Thank you. It's
You
software.
made a good game.
Which has been a long time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe since the 90s.
Early 90s, maybe.
Well, Quake 3 was good.
Doom 3 was good.
Okay.
I don't know about Rage though.
Yeah, I think that's pretty divisive. That's not.
Rage was butt.
All right, Brad.
My hype is, I ain't gonna lie, you know, as much as I was ranting earlier, it's hard to fight it. I'm excited about E3, you know. Although I'm not going,
You'll be there in spirit.
I'll be there in spirit. Hey, I'm the fucking turd every year who argues not to go to the goddamn press conferences. Let's just sit at home and fucking watch them and
That's
live
what he
stream.
says.
And I don't let you.
And he's like, no, we're here, we're going. I'm
Well,
like,
of course.
okay, but now I finally get to just enjoy the press
Well, you know, the
conferences
like
in my
the-
fucking underwear.
You know the funny
In
thing
fact,
is,
I might not even wear underwear.
you know the funny thing is, like you just said, like I'm not going this year, so we can't have that argument, but we're having it right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just realized earlier that I'm wearing my underwear like inside out.
What's wrong with that? Then you can wear them twice.
I do that
I'm
sometimes.
just kidding.
yeah.
That's gross.
That's hilarious.
That's
But
gross.
I mean, all the poop articles are on the outside now.
then you're on your pants.
Now they're on your pants.
Yeah, you wash the pants.
Wait, you guys don't wipe your butts?
Wait, you do that?
Wait, your underwear is on your butthole? You wearing a thong?
Doesn't matter, man. When I fart and you smell my fart, my shit become a part of you.
Did you listen to the Giant Bombcast?
Exactly. I learned something, man.
Oh my god!
If you smell something,
I was
smell
listening-
something,
You don't know
it's
how
in
smell
you now.
works?
So you smelled my burp, so now I'm in you.
It's in. Yeah,
You
a
just
part
didn't
of
know
him
how
is in me now.
You just didn't know how
Mark
nervous you
this
were.
event.
I was-
4-player podcast episode 458. I entered Brad.
Wait, I'm sure you entered him a long time ago.
Probably.
With his
No, you know, like I was listening to that podcast on the way to dinner,
There you
and they
go.
started talking about poo particles in your nose. It was wonderful.
That's what I was talking about a couple of weeks ago when you walk into a bathroom and you take a whiff and it's like hot poop. in the air.
Do you remember that time no one was
Dude,
talking
that's-
about when you go into a bathroom and you're like, and I was like, no, Nolan, no, nobody goes into a bathroom and just takes a huge whiff. Like that's not how that works.
Smells
Oh,
safe.
Steve's here. Oh yeah.
Oh God. All right, I'm
right.
sorry, Brad.
My sweat is. I'm a little worried about Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get lost. I mean, I think it's already kind of flying under the radar. It's going to come out around the same time that, hype's building for E3. Probably going to be some announcements that week. And I'm a little worried, not just about the quality. Maybe it won't gel with me, but, I think this thing is going to bomb. And
First one bombed.
that's frustrating. Because
I'm
they
not-
finally gave it another chance, which is what we always want from these publishers, right? And
I'm not
We're
holding-
going to fucking prove them right.
I'm not as hopeful for. I was never optimistic about Mirror's Edge becoming like a franchise.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they gave it one more shot to make it maybe a better game.
But we're
You wanna
proving
play a
all the
first-person
fucking
platformer?
execs that they're right.
Well, the problem is they kind of they took a
played Doom, homie.
they kind of made a they took a good game and they tried to make it open world by putting a bunch of boring shit in the world.
well,
Yeah.
let's not jump.
Let's not get
I know
into
what you're
that.
saying.
Let's
That's
not
from
I
the demo.
played the demo quite
Sure.
a bit,
Me
and the
too.
problem is a lot of what I was doing in the demo was like collectathons, but like boring. I don't know. That's my
We'll
that's
see.
that's
My
just
thank
from
you.
what I played in the demo.
My thank you goes to Vanillaware, for finally doing a remastered right. It's pretty rare. Usually they're lazy cash grabs, but this is impressive, and I really hope people kind of support this. I always kind of hope that fans of the niche Japanese games will rally behind some of these smaller titles instead of just jerking off about whatever their new Persona waifu's going to be, but we'll see. And my fuck you goes to Activision and Platinum Games for
TMNT.
I grew up loving Ninja Turtles, man.
Who didn't?
I grew up loving Ninja Turtles.
They were radical.
This
Before
did
that
not-
was a bad term.
If you asked me 4 years ago, 3 years ago, dude, what would you think if Platinum Games made a Ninja Turtles game?
That would be amazing.
I would have lost my goddamn mind. But we live in a different world now. Tough times. Platinum Games got to take these deals with Activision to churn out these games with no time, no budget. And I was expecting that. I was hoping that maybe it would at least be the quality of Transformers, which was solid. That was a pretty fun game.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this thing is supposedly just garbage.
That's what I hear.
And to hear Platinum Games and Ninja Turtles came together for just a budget ass piece of shit, it kills me inside.
Definitely.
Kills me inside, So that's my fuck you. Fuck you for letting awesome potential turn into a waste, Fuck you, Activision.
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
blame you most of all.
Nolan,
What's up?
your turn.
Oh, okay. My hype this week is also for E3. I haven't been to E3 in 5 years.
Yep.
So I'm excited to return to LA. I haven't been to LA in 5 years.
It's been a different city without you.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
No, it hasn't. Same piece of shit it's always been.
Fuck you.
I actually like going to LA
like
for
to
a
think I
week.
brighten up
E3 is
LA.
great because you're only in LA for about the amount of time you want to be in LA.
Before
By the
you
time it's
hate it.
over, you're like, all right, I'm ready to get
It's
the fuck
like
out of here.
Vegas.
But while you're there, it's awesome.
Have you ever been to New York? Exact same
Yeah,
fucking
exact
thing.
same thing.
You all of a sudden you look at the pictures of Times Square and you're like, this is amazing, and then you go there and you're like, why does everything smell like shit? And why are there naked people right there walking around? Not pretty naked people either. And then it's just like there's so many homeless
I've been
people.
offered cocaine 3 times on my way here.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to get back. The funny thing is, the day we leave California is the day Bernadette flies into California.
Tradesies.
Yep. My other hype is for Blood and Wine. That game is getting amazing fucking reviews. I'm here
It's got reviews?
yeah, a few, not a lot, but some people are saying it's the best DLC they've ever played. I'm just super fucking pumped for it. I can't wait.
Weird choice of music for their trailer, but
Well,
I do
yeah,
love
it was.
I do give them props for the choice because it's a great
Nothing
song.
will beat that fucking launch trailer for Witcher 3, man.
Oh my god, right?
Oh yeah, that's great.
My sweat is for the NVIDIA GTX 1080. They came out today. All that was on sale, at least in America, were the Founders Edition, not the one I wanted. There was like a couple of EVGA ones that were out, but that's not. I'm looking for the MSI one, and I'm all like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have all of the components for my PC, which kind of leads into my fuck you. Is I have everything for my PC. I even took a picture of it the other day. I have every single component I need except for the graphics card. And yes, while I could build my PC and put my current graphics card in it, I don't want to do that. I don't want to build like this beast of a PC and then put like a mediocre to not so much graphics card in it when I know I'm going to be getting a better one sooner. So let's hope for the best.
All right, Crispy.
My hype this week is actually for Overwatch. I'm really
Sweet.
into it. I'm glad it's doing good. It's kind of just all I've been thinking about is going home and playing more Overwatch. I know it's a little bit of a cop out, but I can't help it. My heart wants what it wants, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My sweat is just for the fact that I have to wait another month and a half for No Man's Sky. I'll be fine, but
You've already waited so long, right?
I already waited so
What's another
long.
month?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's been 3 years already. So
Has it really been 3 years since they announced it?
2013.
Oh my
Video Game
god, dude! I'm
Awards.
gonna be dead like in a week.
Before you know.
What?
Oh yeah, Carlos is dying.
Oh.
We're all
My
dying.
my thank you this week goes to
Nobody.
yeah,
Who's the widow chick from Overwatch?
nobody. Widowmaker.
Widowmaker. So I watched that Game of Thrones, that the Clueless Gamer.
Oh yeah.
Like her butt really is like silly.
When she walks,
When she walks around, her
she
butt
like
is just
she like moves her fucking hips when she walks, and it's just like
her butt is ridiculous. Why is not everyone
Just like
playing
what?
that character? They did that in that bit where it just everybody playing the game switched to her.
oh, I played a match the other day. Where
Wait, are you telling me? Is this a butt worthy of playing that game just for that butt?
Dude, it's so good.
I don't think so.
It won't be the first time I've played a game just for a butt.
There are very many.
I don't know. That may not be true.
There are very many nice butts in that game.
I want to play as a gorilla.
And
He has a great butt.
my fuck
Dr.
you,
Gonzo.
my fuck you for the week goes to
I don't even know why you're thinking about this so hard, Crispy. I know what you want to say.
I don't know, Hydra.
There you go. I guess, yeah.
Fuck Hydra.
I wasn't entirely sure how you were going to phrase it, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, fuck Hydra.
To hell with Hydra.
All right. Anything else? Was that it?
Yep, that was it.
All right.
You didn't mention No Man's Sky.
He did.
I totally did.
Yeah.
You just zoned out.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe.
My 4-player minute this week is brought
As
to you,
you
of
are
course, by
wont to
Jason Bourne in theaters July 29th. My hype is for E3. Just like everybody else here, I'm very, 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 very excited.
What happened?
What was
to
that? What was
It? What
that?
happened to it?
Pull it up. What the
I
fuck?
just saw
Chris
it.
Davis?
What are you doing,
You
Chris
can't do
Davis?
that.
Chris
Davis, you
Chris
mother.
Davis.
Whoa.
This is not real though.
Yeah, that's from a porn.
Yeah, that's not.
So there's
okay.
porn of this?
Oh,
There's so
lots.
much.
There's
There's
lots.
so much.
And more.
You know what?
coming
That
every
leads
day.
into my thank you. Thank you out there for all the custom
all
Overwatch
the
porn.
tireless work by all the talented artists.
You know, did you see this? Today,
I know exactly.
I didn't read the article. I just saw a headline before I came to the podcast. Apparently,
Apparently, Widowmaker has a
Overwatch porn is
giant
being
cock.
pulled down for like copyright claims and shit. Like,
Oh. Dude, apparently, like, during the beta, it was, like, Pornhub's #1 search term by a lot.
by a lot. That's awesome. My sweat this week goes to Nintendo at E3. Not because I'm worried about Zelda, because I'm worried about getting. So E3 is only 3 days, and
Yep.
you know there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of stuff to see, and I'm worried I'm gonna have to devote like half a day or more
The show
to
floor
like.
is also not open as long as other conventions.
Yeah, it opens. The first day is way short. The first day is only from 12 to 6.
Yeah, it's a
The
6
last
hour.
few days are from 10 to 6.
But most conventions are like 9 to 7.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a very different vibe than PAX. There's usually not like concerts and shit going on and people doing stuff afterwards. So, like, you have a very kind of a limited amount of time to actually play shit. So, like, I'm worried I'm going to spend like half a day making sure I see Zelda. Because I can't go to E3 and not see Zelda. I have
At this
to.
point, yeah.
So, you know, I'm a little worried about that. You know, I don't have a thank you. I'm going to say more of another hype. This is kind of a thank you. You know what? Thank you, Bethesda, for making good decisions with your IP. Like they've done well by Wolfenstein. They've done well by Doom. It looks like they're doing. I'm very excited to see Dishonored 2 at E3 as well. And there's rumors. There's very, very, very strong rumors that we're going to see Prey 2 re-announced at E3 this year. And if that's the case, and that's also going to be from Arcane apparently.
I think it would be my fault then.
Definitely your fault.
Because the first time we went to E3 is when they announced it, and then the next time I'm going is when they announce it again.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You're welcome.
You know, Davis, we know.
Chris Davis wasn't right. Chris Davis just...
You didn't create this rumor.
Someone was like, Chris Davis, they're working on Prey 2. And he's like, guys, they're working on Prey 2. I was right.
Anyways,
Shit's
point
obnoxious,
is,
right? These hashtags.
the point is, it seems like Bethesda's making some really great decisions, and that's exciting. I'm very, very excited for Bethesda's press conference, which I was initially not very excited because I was like, okay, so Doom's out, Fallout is out, we know Dishonored's there. What else are they going to have there? But now I'm thinking, like, you know, we might have Machine Games next game. We might have the next game from Tango Gameworks.
Yep.
We might have Prey 2.
Yep.
Like, it could still be
Might
a
have
fucking...
Red Dead 2.
It could be... Well, I'm talking about Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda.
But it could be...
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, sorry. But, I mean, potentially, they
Yes.
could have a stellar conference.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'm very, very excited. And my fuck you of the week...
Fuck Fallout, bro.
My fuck you of the week goes to... Oh, man.
Someone's gonna buy Bethesda.
Fuck Brad for saying that.
No, I'm serious. There's like fucking rumors, I think, right?
Wait, rumors that someone's going to buy Bethesda?
Yeah. ZeniMax.
What?
Well, ZeniMax already owns that.
No, I meant ZeniMax.
You mean
Someone's gonna buy
someone's gonna
ZeniMax.
buy ZeniMax. Anyways, fuck. I don't know. I don't have a fuck you. I'm hyped for everything. I'm hyped for Jason Bourne. Oh, you already know that. Yay! Anyways, that's all I have for you this week, guys. Do y'all have anything you want to say in closing? Carlos, thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck you, Carlos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's so silent.
That's my bit.
Yeah.
That's my bit.
Oh, okay. Anyways,
Yeah.
you're the worst. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. 4playernetwork.com is the website. We'll be announcing our official plans for E3 very, very, very soon. It's going to be very exciting. We have some cool stuff in the works, so look for that. And 4pp.tv is where you can watch us broadcast games every single night. Everyone have a safe and happy 3-day weekend.
Definitely.
Right? And we'll see you next week. I think next week, I don't know when the podcast is going to be next week, but we'll let everybody know. It'll be on the calendar. You can check the calendar at 4playernetwork.com/calendar. Anyways, peace out. We will see you guys next week.